Are you able to see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So just prepare one Excel on this one. Okay. Identify areas that you identified for this scenario. What is the risk? And for which we are going to set up a business continuity and implement some security controls. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. We'll take a maximum of 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Okay. So whoever is finished, they can share your screen. I think you have access to share your screen and present it, or whoever is not able to share your screen, send it an email to the email address which was mentioned at the bottom. Okay, let's start to do it. Let's keep discussing and doing it. Okay. Hello. Can somebody read the question?
So are you sharing something in the screen?
I already. Yes, I did.
No.
I already shared. I am not sure.
No, we don't see that.
No, we don't see that. We could see the teams.
Give me a minute. Let me share. I shared the whole screen. That is what I was asking. Share a window, entire screen. Entire screen. Okay, let me know if you're able to see a PPT with a question followed by a risk.
Yes. Transfer.
Yeah. So here is a scenario. Okay. Here is the scenario. So if you want to add additional system, you can add additional system. Whatever you want, okay, you can do based on the scenario here. And here is the risk list that you can prepare based on the scenario, what you understood, based on the risk that you identified, what is the control that you'll put in place. Okay. So now you can ask me questions while if you don't understand, I can explain. For those who understood, let's start to work on the list. Yes, no? Hello? Guys, yes or no?
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Just
good.
doing the picture.
You continue to do it. Keep talking while you do it. Others can also speak. Whomever wants to put what are the points. But I mean, everybody should be involved on this. Okay. First, read the question or the situation, and then prepare this first. The risk register. Okay, identify the area of the risk, sub a description of the risk, level of impact, stakeholder priority. Okay, so what do you see here? What is the first risk? Hello?
Availability.
I mean, okay, put it over here. I mean, I'm looking for at least a lot of people to be involved here. Okay, so people, we are just going to pull anyone from this list and ask him to share at the 20th minute. 203 2020. Someone will present it. Okay, let's pull out the name now. So who will present it here from this bunch? Can't see the name here. Okay, Vasant Raja will share the list of risk what is identified. And Robin Paul can also share the list of risk what is identified. And then Aruna Kural Mani will also share the list of risk what has been identified, while others can prepare and send it. And yeah, for this list of security controls, we can choose who is the one. We can have some volunteers. Is the question clear? Is the situation clear here? Guys, yes or no?
Please, second.
Sorry, I did not hear. There was a background screaming noise. If anyone has any question, please ask.
The questions, the slide.
This here on the screen, this is a scenario. Here is the situation of the scenario and what you need to prepare. What are the controls? See here, budget for implementing security controls. What are the security controls that you will implement? What is the risk that you have identified because of this situation? Guys, I'm repeating the same thing on the 5th time. Is it clear or not clear?
Actually, the company name comes, so also company has 130 asset with 70 laptops, right? So 50 desktop and 50 mobile devices, and the denial of access to the company's data outside office network has to be implemented, right?
Correct.
So they want to set up a network at the outside of the network, means the company network.
It says denial of access.
Yes, means already it's access denied, right?
First, we need to prepare the critical assets, sir.
Hmm.
So we need
Continue. Yeah, whatever the way you understood, we just want to represent the situation here. Continue. What you said is right. Both what you said is right. Okay, you will prepare which one is your priority assets which you want to address first. Good, continue. We heard only 2 voices. Anybody else? Has any other inputs? Venkat, Shivachandran.
VPN access has to be implemented.
Just put it on your points list of risk, what you identified and how you can implement, what control you're going to put in place.
Okay.
Continue next. Velavan. Vishal. Okay. After lunch, we see only 40. Karthikeyan. Shiva. Babu. Kumar.
Sir, can you share the template in the chat? We need to manually type it.
No, you don't need to type. You just look at the screen here. If you're looking, I mean, it is only 4 columns. You can choose 1, 2, 3. Just choose the heading alone. That is more than enough. Area of risk, sub risk, risk. I don't see I have an option to chat and share it on the chat.
Okay, sir. I prepared in terms of network security category and data security category and some trainings for employees.
You need to put all what you think is required. Okay, how you want to classify, we'll leave it to individual users. That's fine. Classify all possible areas. We are not putting any filter to classify only this or that. Okay, so we are looking to secure the information. Out of 40 people, we heard only 3 voices. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Hello? No response. It looks like post lunch, just after I see a very sluggish response. Hello. Anyone else? Okay, 3 response from 41 looks very disappointing. What has happened to the other audience? Out of 70, only 40 turned up after lunch. I think it should be, I should not decide going forward to take up sessions on a Sunday. People should have walked into the university for having this session in person. That would have been a little better. You see a huge risk of people not even responding. Hello. So Manikandan, what's happening? Kavita, what are you doing? Any information security control that we can implement for this situation? Hello.
Firewall rules can be achieved.
Sorry.
Firewall rules can be implemented.
Okay, continue. I'm still hearing the same voice. I'm not hearing somebody else.
Okay. So
Sir, I
Hey,
have.
what is point number B? Banking database. Point number B, database has no high availability as a current setup. So we are not hearing anything on that.
yeah, database is no available with no high availability means it's comes under the risk. We need to implement at least some failover for the databases.
Okay, continue. Yeah, someone else was saying something. Who's that? Yeah, continue.
Sir, so based upon the things requirement, right? Segregated something like incident response recovery plans. And as already told that network security one sheet, and then what is it? Data security one sheet, and then employees training and awareness for this time sheet and other things, security awareness program, what we already discussed on morning session. And
Okay,
then
so what is the risk? What is the risk sheet? Can you talk about that? What is the risk of not having this and continuing to run the business like this? That is more important, right? We have identified some risk because of which we are putting some controls in place, because this risk can happen today, tomorrow, and forever until we are in this situation.
Yes, sir,
Controls you have identified.
yeah.
Okay, continue.
So some regulatory confirm what is, we know that ISO some compliance requirements, right? So that also that with this helpful some reference we get it, and then we'll put it on segregate like that. Okay, so incident response recovery plan, data security plans, and network security plans, employee training and compliance legal requirements. So I don't know other thing to cover here.
No, that's fine. Whatever you covered is okay. Just continue thinking whether you can add something to this situation. If not, then fine. Hold it. Let's have somebody else. We have mentioned here banking side. We have mentioned here e-commerce and database. Okay, for what systems you will implement high availability? Where is the backup strategy? Anything? Nobody is talking about anything about backup. No, not all 3 or 4 who spoke.
So
No one is
That's
speaking.
what I said, high availability should be confirmed.
No, high availability is a part of business continuity. What about backups? High
Oh,
availability
physical
is
security.
a part of
Okay.
business continuity. So what is about backup?
So
Continue,
data,
continue,
data,
continue,
data,
continue.
data backup.
Continue,
Data
continue,
backup.
continue. Let's call somebody else. Okay, I'm not hearing any other names other than these 3. I'm seeing only this. Manibalan. Okay, I called already. Babu. Kumar Chandran. Kumar. Karthikeyan, are you all there or you're not there? Okay, meeting chat. Somebody's able to paste it. Okay, that's good. Okay, somebody. Okay, e-commerce. Risk is non-availability, which is lead to loss of business reputation. Database needs backup. Laptop is second priority. So which one is first priority? When you say
Physical
laptop is no, when you say laptop is second priority, which one is first priority? Guys, you have to be more in terms of we talked about categorizing the risk in terms of likelihood, in terms of occurrence. It's a high risk, low risk. You can't see anything on your list. It is okay, but we are expecting more. I mean, it is okay to some extent, but we need something more. And 41 to 46. Well, Vishal, anything from you? Mohammed? Single? Okay, not even no response at all. Guys, I'm looking for some response.
Regarding the backup, we have to do a regular checkup on backup and restores.
Put all your points, whatever we have learned. If you would have been listening to what we talked, you should be able to gather the points now. Okay, next.
From my side, apart from what we have spoke, sir, we haven't talked something about like the identity security. Because like we are talking about like an assets and the users. So identity security can be one of the risk portfolio that might requires highest focus.
Identity.
Yeah, identity.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, see, identity comes along with your user credentials, right?
Yeah, it comes with the user credentials.
Yeah.
In terms of like a securing, but like identity is there, but like what is like the mitigation strategy for it? So we can stop with like a passwords, or we can go for a single sign-on.
Correct. So once I say login, okay, if MFA is not there, then you need to implement MFA as a first priority. Okay, so this user will have multi-factor authentication. So that is the biggest control where you're implementing, right? Okay, he's the right person with the right authentication. He's allowed to log into a specific machine where he is validated with your authentication token. Single sign-on is again whether you use for banking application, whether it's a e-commerce or on a laptop timesheet, everything is being with single sign-on. So he's having only one login with a password policy. We can talk about password policy. So I'm not even hearing any general things. What you're talking about policies? There are 15 different policies while we talk about information security. Yeah, continue, Vivek. Anything else that you want to add? Mohammed?
So multi-factor authentication has to be implemented and role-based access control.
We just told role-based access. Okay, next. I don't know who is. Yeah, next. Shiva.
Due to banking, we can implement the PCI DSS standards also.
Okay, so a payment card industry standard. Can anyone tell any one payment card industry standard? Anyone?
Having a firewall control should be monitored continuously. And all the card information should be encrypted.
Okay, card, all the card information to be encrypted. What is it? All the card information? Can you just give?
So
some
the
specific-
Okay, so the cards can be stored in like a databases that should be encrypted, and sometimes this also should be prevented from like sharing. For example, if while there is like a transaction when it is happening, the data is in the motion, it should be protected even during this time. Whether it is like a communication or whether it is like a moving between like a databases.
Okay, data during rest or transit, it has to be secure. That's okay. I mean, we are talking again about data security or information security. Now, going back, PCI DSS standard. Okay, just tell me what data in your card is to be encrypted. Not all data, right? Or all data to be encrypted.
Card number.
Main card number and CVV.
Card number and CVV. Okay, next. Next.
There is a process called grid authentication also.
That's the part of your authentication. So we are talking about what information do you need to store in your data. Okay, because all card PCI DSS for somebody who is not aware, all payment card industry. If you look at the transaction while you do a transaction at the gateway, you will see a small icon at the bottommost corner or at the top corner somewhere. PCI DSS certified. All gateway who is processing the transaction from one bank to another bank on the payment gateway, they have to be certified from PCI DSS or by PCI DSS standards. If not, you cannot have a transfer gateway or a payment gateway. So can somebody else tell me, okay, information related to CVV, information related to card number needs to be encrypted. Okay. So the person who is sitting in front of the bank, will he be able to read the card number or he will not be able to read the card number? Hello? I mean, I don't know, is it Vivek or, he can. Okay, so he can, so it is encrypted, but he can. Okay, storage. Okay, all the 16 digits. Hello.
Last 6 digits.
Last 4 digit, I think.
Okay,
4 to
last
6
4
digits.
digits. Okay, what is that called as?
It's called masking.
Okay, that's correct. Masking. All right, so we have one person who has completed and.
I just make it as a high level, sir. I didn't go to
That's okay.
granular
That's
level.
okay. That's okay. Can you maximize a little more? This Excel looks a little small for me. Maybe my monitor or something. Okay. Okay. Go and yeah, just go with different columns. High. Okay. Good. Can you go back to to left? Left.
I don't
Left,
have any
yeah.
sub-area, so I have not done it.
Okay. Area of risk. Okay. Okay. Risk identified. App server goes down. High. Database goes down. High. Okay, so app server goes down, priority is 2. Database goes down, priority. I mean,
Since
2 is
actually
2 is
since
more. 2 is more, or 3 is more, or 1 is more. Which one is?
one is high.
Okay. So it is okay. The decrease. Okay, 1 is high. Priority 1. That is huge risk. Or can you add one more column? Likelihood for happening.
Okay.
Since you have added a risk, put somewhere as one more column. Level of impact is a likelihood. Whether it will happen or for the last 6 months, it is how many times it has occurred? Very minimum or
for app server that you mentioned, right? So 4 hours or something is acceptable. That is the reason I have given as a 2 priority.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, we want to know likelihood whether it will happen. What is the frequency? It is very frequent, or it is once in a month or once in a year. That is what we are looking at. What is the frequency of app server going down?
You mean asking about the probability, right?
Correct. Very likely, very often, or once in a while. Very likely, okay. Very likely, very often it goes down, okay. Yeah, because while we talk about risk, you need to talk about likelihood and priority. So that's the reason we want to add this column as well for the audience. Okay. All right, continue. Okay, host mission with internet access. High downtime. Downtime. Okay, employee. Okay, downtime low.
That is for the employee timesheet.
That's okay. That's okay. Reduce column E to the size of the column. I want to read content on the column I. Reduce the column width. Yeah. Okay. High. Okay. Hacking. Oh, what is denial of service? Hacking. What is row number 11? Risk is
So-
hacking. Okay. Somebody
No.
will hack your application.
System, the application, yeah.
Okay. Application security tools. Okay. DAS scan. Regular backups with different locations. Backup was high. Authentication. So put one more column as which is internal, which can be external. What is a threat? Which is an internal threat or which can be an external threat?
Maybe I will make
Because
it
see,
as.
this is where we need to keep granulating to the level. Okay, what can be internally done? What can be externally done? Or who should do what? Okay, for others who is looking and listening, you can also prepare or include those columns on your sheet. Include likelihood, include is it external or internal risk? External, if I'm not even exposing my application externally, so I can take off all those things, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you don't need to spend your time on breaking your heads over there. Yeah. Multi-factor authentication for sensitive transactions. Where do you want to categorize anything? Okay, first of all, okay, any authentication will have multi-factor. SSL digital certificate, HTTP over HTTP, HTTP over HTTPS. Okay, I didn't see anything on higher. Okay, where is there any other sheet on this? Or this is a final sheet.
This is the one, sir, that I have drafted.
Okay, so that's okay. So anybody can include what we can include for database here. I don't see. I'm not seeing anything related to.
So here, sir,
higher-
the mitigation, as part of mitigation,
Load balancing for multiple server sensitive, but where is your high availability in terms of primary, secondary, anything disaster recovery? Where is that?
so with multiple servers that talks about the primary and secondary, sir.
No, put somewhere. I mean, see, that's an assumption, right? I can have any number of servers
Okay.
for anything. But if you say active and passive, then we can understand for which application or which, for example, database server, we will have high availability. Risk is high availability does not exist. That is a risk. And then you can put a control saying that implementation of high availability can be the solution with a control in place.
Okay.
I mean, you should be able, I mean, the audience who is reading should be able to understand what you're trying to interpret. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else is having anything that we can include on the top of it? Or if you're fine, anybody else has anything to share your screen. If you're ready. It's almost 28 minutes. We thought of 20 minutes, 20. At least this covers likelihood, this covers risk. There is a number associated with that, high level, low level, mitigation. But we don't see any policies here, nowhere. Okay, so when you put authentication, right, what is the policy that we can call? Put a column as policy, insert one more column before mitigation. Put the column as policy name.
Policies.
Policy name. Yes. Policy name. Policy name. Yeah. Put for authentication, what is the policy commonly used? For authentication, what is the
Security, you are
policy?
talking about that CAA or?
No. You generally have a policy in terms of authentication. What is that policy called as?
Security policy.
Security.
No, guys. We are talking
Authentication.
about
Authentication policy.
no for authentication.
Identify.
No. We are talking about user credentials. First thing when it comes to user credential is password policy. What password policy?
access policy, password policy.
Access is different versus password is different. So authentication, when you talk about authentication, password policy.
Password policy, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go to what do you call? Okay, load balancing is a different backup. Okay, if wherever you have backup, put it as a backup. For backup, you need to have data protection policy or backup policy, whatever the way you call it as. Data recovery or backup. I mean, generally you can put it as, if it's all backup, then you can put it as backup policy, because you need to write all policies of this. If you are saying you have a risk, then whether you are going to change the policy, whether you are going to enhance the policy. Okay, limiting traffic from specific IP to filtering. Okay, what policy is it? A network or it is an access? Limiting traffic. Limiting traffic.
Network policy.
But yeah, when you talk about network, that's the outer layer. When you talk internally, what is the policy? Is it an access restriction that you are implementing?
It's firewall policy.
No, correct. It's firewall is the device, what you're calling as. But internally, what are you restricting? You are restricting, limiting the traffic. I'm restricting my access, right?
Yeah.
Indirectly limiting the access.
Yes.
Access
Access restriction or access control policy. Guys, I want everybody to talk, and I'm still seeing only 2 people talking here out of 52. I mean, this is not at all helping. Next. Next.
availability.
Next. Okay, even for that, there is no response. I think you need to stop sharing and we need to allow somebody else to share their screen to talk about. Anybody else has got anything?
Let me stop sharing.
No, just for a while.
Wait.
We don't see anybody coming forward. So that's why I was just holding. Anybody else has anything to share or talk? No response. Guys, I'm very, it's disappointing where people are not even responding out of 52. Anyone else has got anything? Yes, no.
So share the same Excel so that we can discuss on that.
No, at least we need to look at the other one who has prepared something. So that is why I was asking, has anyone else prepared or everybody is looking at this Excel?
Even I'm just explaining whatever I think, but I'm not able to prepare any Excel or something.
You need to do that.
So I'm just updating all the information what is available. That's all.
Okay.
Maybe people don't know how to update, but they can talk about it.
But we are not even seeing people talking.
Maybe I will share the sheet, sir, again. So maybe they.
Please share the sheet, the same sheet.
Yeah, go with whatever works we're trying to fix.
Sir, I have sent a mail to your email ID with the Excel report, sir.
Okay, all right, good. That's okay. You continue sharing. Whomever is sharing, is it Vivek or somebody else?
Shiva here.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure.
So that we can keep this as
Okay,
the
okay.
base. Okay, availability policy name. Policy name. Hold on. So policy name cannot be availability as there is no policy called as availability. Okay, it should be
Downtime.
No. See, that's what it should be, a business continuity policy. If it's related to, if you're talking about business continuity as a server, that's the first line. Then you need to keep it as BCP policy for application server or BCP. Okay, somebody is typing something. I'm not looking at the chart. I don't know who is not able to talk. My PC mic is damaged. I cannot talk. Okay. Okay, fine. You need to get this is your risk. You're not able to talk, you're not able to understand. Okay, so now
Internet access policy.
host mission with internet access. Okay, so
Internet
here
access policy.
it should no, it is not internet access policy, it is internet usage policy. Okay. How you can use your internet, what is available on your laptop or on the server. It is internet
Acceptable user
usage-
policy. Acceptable user policy.
acceptable user policy or internet accept. Yeah. Any other points that we need to cover? Backup is covered, data protection is covered. Okay, add one more thing as somewhere, retention policy for something. Okay, so now we are talking about backups. I thought somebody will speak, but I don't see retention policy for the backup. We will keep the policy to retain backups, send a report. Okay, good. We will retain the backups up to 1 year, not more than that. Okay.
25 years or something like that.
No,
But we are
yeah,
doing it
so-
for 18 months, sir.
Fine, no.
If
That
it
is-
comes
that's
up,
all.
go ahead, please. Sorry.
What is the retention period? You define it, but put some retention period here. Okay, 1 year or 2 years, after which you will archive it, you will move it to a different environment. For now, you're just keeping it in that location. After 2 months, after 2 years, you will still hold the data, but you will move to a vault or you have to move it to some other location. That's it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So user training, where is that point? Anywhere we need to train the user.
Yes, sir.
Training policy, put some information security awareness training, or I mean, whatever you want to call it as. No, it cannot be called as education. It
Awareness
should be-
and training.
Education, no,
Awareness
education
and training.
employees.
User
No,
education.
Employee.
No, you cannot call us. You can call it as user training. That is option number one.
Induction, you can say. sir.
Awareness.
Induction is more of for the people who are newly joining. But
No.
education and training.
Awareness training.
No, guys,
Awareness training.
No. See, two things. While you're talking about information security, align accordingly. That's all. Induction is fine, but induction is for a new employee who joins. But whenever you keep implementing a new policy in terms of information security, you need to provide user awareness. Okay. You want to stop people from clicking on phishing links. So you're doing a user awareness training. It cannot be, you cannot call nowhere as education. Okay. It's an awareness training or a user training or information security training. Okay.
Awareness training.
How about penetration testing in the risk field, right? So
Yeah,
how
that I have
secure
put it
I am
over here.
keeping?
So that
You
it I
add
put
it,
it here
you
as
add
gas
it,
scans.
You can just change it as hacking / put it as penetration testing. Whether user can penetrate through the system or not, that is what we are going to check. See, I mean, not every, just put it as penetration test.
Yeah, it should be separate one, right? It's a hacking, right? It is for
No,
doing
actually
like
for
modify
doing
pen testing. I am testing my own environment, right? It need
No,
not
no,
to be a
actually,
hacking. How
hacking is
strong
one-
my application or right? All these parameters comes under pen testing.
hacker
So
will try to hack the system, right? That
So
is a
Ravi-
kind of a risk
So
for
Ravi,
them.
Ravi,
The mitigation
Ravi.
point is more of the
Yeah.
SAST, OSS and DAS scans. DAS scans
Ravi.
comprises of the pen test.
yeah,
Ravi,
right.
some background noise is there, guys. People who are not speaking, muted. Yeah. So to answer your question, Ravi, so basically, pen testing as a part of testing itself is done.
Not a risk, what?
Or
It's
else
not a risk, right?
we can we can say, right, hardening, right? Hardening my own system. If somebody has a doubt, we can interchangeably call as hardening my system.
That is mitigation. That is mitigation that you're talking about.
That's what. So penetration testing is a basic requirement to test and validate if my code is having any breaches through which somebody can hack and
Correct.
Unauthorized access can be done without my knowledge. And
Correct.
that is what you're calling as hacking. So now keep it as
If I
penetration.
am not doing it, it is a risk, right? So
Correct. That is, yes. If you're not doing it, it's a risk. Of
No,
course.
no,
So
that is
that's
not
not right. It's a
actually, that is not a risk. Actually, there is a
No,
possibility for hacking
That
the
is a-
system because of lack of pen test or any other testing.
No. Wait. That
No.
is a risk in terms of, wait, hold on. So that is a risk, first of all. Okay, so today you have a banking application. You have implemented all controls. Okay, let's say, you have implemented NIST standard. You have implemented some security controls. Okay, but you have not done a penetration testing to understand whether the code what is written has got some gaps where some vulnerabilities where somebody can penetrate through the system or understand what is the username password which is passed or any sensitive data what is stored in the system or what is on the code. Okay, without which you have launched the application. Okay, let's assume that you have launched the application. Okay, thousands of users are using, company is growing. One fine day, okay, one of the employee who left the company, he left the company, his credential is disabled, but there is a username and password which is written in the code itself. Okay, this was never changed. It is not rotated. It is not changed at all. It is a hard-coded username and password. If you have not done a penetration test, you will never know this, or you will never know what is written in the code if you have not reviewed your code, which is what is happening through the penetration testing, whether somebody can penetrate through your code or not. Okay. So now, if you have done a penetration testing, this will give you a list of vulnerabilities, what is there in the application. Okay, for example, there are 10 different places where the user has passed and username credentials with an open text, is a readable format, readable text. This is point number one. And there are places where service account is used. There are places where user account is used. 1, 2, 3. They are shared a penetration list of identification, what is being vulnerabilities, what is being identified. Without doing this, if you have launched it, and now somebody says this is all a risk, what has been identified, you need to go ahead and fix it. So of course it is a risk. If you have not done it, you have to do it. If it's classified as a sensitive information on your classification. Okay, we are not talking about timesheet. We are talking about banking system, or we are talking about financial systems. Is it clear? Or is it answering your question?
I just added one another item here, sir. Vulnerability in the system without fixing.
Vulnerability in the system without fixing. No, but you see, when you call it as vulnerability, right? It exists in the system. So you have to fix it after you identified it.
Correct. If it is not fixed, then that is also a risk.
That is a risk, yes, of course. If you identify something and if you're not fixing it, then it's what's the purpose of identification?
Yeah, whether it may be on the code or on third-party library or whatever it may be.
Okay. So we are still now only I'm still hearing only 3 people talking. Who are the others? Can we have some other people, those who are speaking? Vignesh, Robin, Karthikeyan. I don't know who for the first half I heard at least 5 different people. Now I'm hearing only 2. Okay, all right. So,
sorry, I just fixed my laptop. So in our mitigation, we can add vulnerability management.
is it who is this? I can't see your name. I heard this voice, Mahesh.
Naveen.
Naveen, okay. Vulnerability. Okay.
Vulnerability management.
Vulnerability management.
Basically, that is a policy that you are talking about, vulnerability management.
No, not policy. Vulnerability management policy should also be there, and under mitigation, we can add vulnerability management.
If you see the row number 15, vulnerability in the system, right? That is without fixing these issues.
That
has to be fixed. Identified issue has to be fixed in certain point of time within the time limit, right?
So what we have a policy. Yes, for that, what is the policy that you're going to put in place? Okay, guys, somebody is. I don't know who is that. Just mute. Any control that you're going to bring will be in the form of a policy. So you need to refer the control against a policy. Through this retention policy, I am maintaining this backup for a certain duration of time. Through a backup policy, through the password policy, I am implementing a strong password. Through an authentication policy or an access restriction, I am implementing or I'm limiting the traffic within the given region. So you need to talk relating to a policy while you implement a control.
Okay. Sir, in line with the vulnerabilities, there is one thing which is like very, very significant with all the organizations, which is the patch management policy. I think the, lots of threats and risks exposed from here. If you wanted to remember the WannaCry, what has happened like in the Microsoft, it's the companies who does not have like or fail to implement like a patch management policy has like a massive,
that's what-
massive.
Patch management, you can put it as patch management policy for managing all your patches.
How
See,
about
this is
Rajkumar,
one-
how about implementing the firewall, right? IDS, IPS, firewall.
It is all coming under restriction, Shiva, or I don't know, I can't recall your name.
Ravi.
Ravi. So yeah, I mean, guys, put your name first and then put your number. I'm least bothered about what is this number. Okay, I can't even see who is the one who is talking. Somebody is talking. I can't see the name. It is all showing me numbers. What I don't want to do anything with your enrollment number.
Sir, Yogesh here. And one change management policy also we can put.
Change management policy. Okay.
So one more,
you-
Naveen, one more is software management policy is also need to be there.
No, software, I mean, so that should be in terms of what do you call, okay, let me recall this. Authorized software to be installed. What do you call this as? List of whitelisted softwares, or what do you call this as?
Trusted softwares.
Yeah, trusted or whitelisted software to be installed.
Basically upgrades, right? So
No, not an
Yeah,
upgrades.
No,
See, even
approved
anybody
list
who-
of software.
upgrading of softwares, upgrading of
No,
softwares.
approved lists.
Approved
list of
approved,
software.
yeah,
Approved list of softwares. Okay.
Sir, I'm asking in terms of, you said like the likelihood is very high for application server, which like operating system, if it is not, does not have a software management policy, there is the likelihood of it going crashing is high. So software management policy is like, how frequently are you updating your software?
No, that's what it is. I mean, I'm just trying to recall what is this software management policy. So basically, if you are going to buy it from a third party, then again, you have some certification which is coming. Okay, there is a penetration test done. Okay, what else is done? And software management policy. Instead of that, software development policy. Okay, I have an in-house development team who is developing softwares, who is making changes on the custom implementation or custom changes, for which I can have a change management policy as well as I can have a software development policy. Who can do what? And again, there also access restriction comes in place, change management comes in place, and who is reviewing the code and who is reviewing the changes. So it can be, I mean, software development policy.
So like,
Change-
if I can take the example, the recent CrowdStrike, they did not test that
Manage-
software that they're going to implement, and it
Yeah,
crashed.
so that is correct. Yeah, so that is correct. That is in terms of patch management. Okay.
Okay.
Basically, automatic updates has been pushed on. So automatically all system that had automatic updates, it is again
Actually,
a part of,
CrowdStrike comes under an risk management policy.
sorry, release of
CrowdStrike, yeah, it comes
Correct.
under release management.
Correct. That's correct. So it's a patch management where people told, okay, turn off all your automatic updates for a while so that it doesn't install automatically. So that is a part of what patch management, where you don't push the patch without understanding what patch it is. Automatic updates to be turned on the service. To first understand, even if it's I mean, everybody is updating WhatsApp, everybody is updating all the softwares, what is in your machine. Before doing that, but try to understand what is this patch for. And then you can update or do not want to update. It's up to you. Okay. So policy one, change, where is change management, change policy? You can put somewhere against the one more as software development policy. I mean, are you
On the
typing
policy
anything?
side, sir, or it's not a
Yes,
risk, right?
on this, oh, no, it is not a risk in this. You put the policy. You put the policy. Okay, no, not on unapproved. No, put it on the next line. It is on the same line. Software development policy, wherever you make a change, okay, okay, say for example, you have an application on which you have an internal development team who is making the changes. Okay, first of all, it has to go through change management, that is fine. Then it has to be approved, and then it has to be as per the standards of software development lifecycle. So we still need to have a software development policy. Okay, if you're making a financial change, it has to be approved by other people, those who are involved, or other stakeholders who is involved. Those things has to be done. Software development policy. Okay. What is the policy? Backup policy. Okay. Yes. You can. Antivirus. Yes. Antivirus policy. Password policy. Where did we put password policy? Okay, there. It is authentication, multi-factor authentication. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we still have a lot of policy which we are data retention policy. It is not one is. It should be data retention policy. It is not retention policy. It is data retention policy.
Data privacy policy.
Okay, one is
Not
data
privacy.
retention. No, one more is data retention. Okay, put something as employee information. Yeah, put one more
Data
as
privacy.
one more as
Data privacy policy.
privacy policy, and put your employees' data.
Which one, for which one you're talking about? Data privacy?
No, you need to put in another column against identified as a risk, and then put the policy. If not, just put the policy name for now as data privacy policy. Okay, while you're collecting personal information about employees, okay, you need to destroy the data after a certain retention period. Until that, you need to keep it not to be shared with somebody else.
Okay. So
Okay,
both of them are belongs to data retention, right? Again.
No, one is related
both
to
are different.
both. That's what one is.
No, policies are different. Policies are different, but both of them talks about the risk is the retention.
Risk
No,
is not
privacy
about
retaining the data for a certain period of time. That talks about the data retention policy. And again, the sensitivity of the data that talks about the data privacy.
So when you talk about retention is right, any documents that has been printed and shared to a customer, for example, I need to retain it for 10 years. Just guys, the moment I'm hearing some background noise, I'm not able to. It's really literally irritating. So please stop if you're not talking. Retention talks about the retention only. What is the reason behind the retention? How long you want to retain? How long you want to retain these documents? That is all about the policy. But your privacy policy talks about employee sensitive data, which you want to store it within a given period of time, not more than that. So both are talking about retention on an outermost perspective, but both are two different policies. Your personal information, storing it is different versus your company information or your client information, what you're storing.
So how about application security policy?
Application security policy, yes, you can add one more at the bottom, application security
policy. That is here,
policy.
right? So application security policies.
No.
In policy.
That is where you're testing, but what is the policy which you're applying is?
No.
Okay,
I can understand, sir. So actually, we are discussing about the risk in column E.
Wait. Now, initially, we started to identify the general risk. Now we are talking about all risk, what we can identify. Okay, if my application is there, okay, how are you securing your application? I have multi-factor authentication. I have tested with penetration testing. What else? How are you? What are the other ways you're saying that your application is so secure? For example.
So those are part of the mitigation. Those
No,
should be
no,
there
no.
as part.
First of all, no. Mitigation comes later, my friend. First, what is the risk? How are you securing your application? Tell me that alone first. Forget about risk.
We are just checking. We are just checking with the OSAP standard, sir.
Yeah. So then now you need to talk about, okay, what are all the list of controls which you can put, or what are the restrictions that I can put to tell my application is secure? Continue. I have a web application. So how is your application secured? How can you tell that your application is secure? After you
Sir,
tell
on the risk
using the
perspective,
code analysis tools.
no, on the risk perspective, we need to discuss
Wait.
about the risk, right?
No,
It is
wait,
not.
wait. Hold on. Now I'm
See, we are
telling
talking about the mitigation part, or how can we prevent the attacks? Okay,
that
but
is that. Hold on. That's what. Hold on. You have now. You just bought an application from a third party. Okay, and you are telling that this application is fully secure. Now you tell me, how is your application secure? Tell me that first.
Sir, we have to conduct a VAPT.
Okay.
Once VAPT is conducted, then whatever vulnerability will come, we have to list out, and as per their criticality, we have to categorize.
No. Let's talk about.
Basically, we are thinking about what is the way this application can be accessed. So this application can be accessed only internally, or can this application accessed only outside, or both ways? And then comes to can this be accessed by SSO, or does this need MFA? So those kind of application kind of access should.
Okay, so one is what you talked about, login, and second is about authentication, which is already covered as a part of multi-factor authentication, and the restriction in terms of internal or external, what you're going to control through the network traffic. Next.
So next is like we do regular patch management and those stuff.
No,
for the application
see, no,
specific.
hold on. See, that's what immediately just after your first part, do not go to patch. Think about next. What else you can classify? Anything else?
Data validations.
Well, that is again internal to the application. Next.
Cookies and cache management.
Okay. Next.
No, we have to ensure the access control. Who will access at what credentials?
Okay, yeah.
Whether
So
it is admin credential or user credential.
Okay, who will access what? Okay. Role-based access is
session management.
Yes.
Yeah. So now my application is fully secured in the sense. If somebody is not talking, please mute. My application is totally secure because it has got only 15 minutes of session timeout. Session timeout, there is a policy. All my applications will time out. If there is an idle timeout of 14th minute or 15th minute, my session will time out. And this is a part of application security. You can put the policy name as session timeout, or application as a part of application security. You have session timeout, which will time out. There are applications which is having 1 hour session timeout. That application is not so secure. And there is application which will time out if the idle time is not more than 14 minutes. That's more secure. So this is how you tell my application is more secure than your other application. Then you identified what is a risk where one critical application is having a session timeout which is working for 1 hour. Now this is a risk. So we need to contact the vendor, or we need to make a change and change the session timeout to be implemented as 15 minutes. Industry standard tells it's only 15 minutes. You cannot go with 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 1 hour or more than 1 hour. Okay, put the policy name wherever you need to, and put the controls. Session timeout. Anything else on the application?
Sir, like you
Secure-
said, role-based access, maybe attribute-related access as well, we can implement.
Okay, that is fine. Next.
My question, I have one question here, sir.
Where
Yeah,
my
we are talking.
application is hosted, right? It is DMC
Yeah.
or cloud or it is LAN. So that is
Shiva,
also matters most, right?
yeah, no, that is matter most. All your network traffic is already controlled. You're not allowing it to external. You're allowing only a restricted network
If
traffic.
it is hosted in third-party cloud, right? I need not to go waste my time on this actually, because if we were availing, right, my application is hosted on some public cloud. I do not waste time on creating this one actually.
No, that is solutioning, right?
No. Wait, that will become now. We are not hosting. Okay, then we need to talk about where you're hosting it, whether you're hosting it from public, private. Those things will come back. For now, we'll just keep it to a within limitation. You're restricting your traffic. You're allowing your traffic only to a restricted environments. Okay, so that itself. See, I have a very big security gate at the entrance. Okay, that is open. I have a next gate where there is a reception, where there is no biometric. That is also open. Anybody can come and anybody can go out. And then there is another office room where people can enter, anybody can enter, no ID, anything, okay, without which an employee can enter. That is also open. I have biometric only in my server room. To secure only your server room, you have a security control. Security starts with your physical entry. With your physical entry where somebody is entering at the security gate. Correct or wrong? Correct.
User authentication policy.
So you have to, there is no purpose of putting Interpol's server room alone will have biometric CCTV only will be there in the server room. That's of no purpose. If anybody can enter in my office, then what's the purpose of putting only it in the server room? It should be there from somebody who is entering the security gate. I should be seeing here. Only an authorized person can enter inside my building. And after this, he is authorized to enter inside my room. Okay, continue. Anything else
Sir,
on the application?
Sir,
User
we can also
authentication.
add
Logout and session
monitoring
timeout.
logs.
Session timeout and lockout comes
Sir,
together. Session
Sir,
timeout.
I
is
have one
already
question
there.
here, sir. We
Yeah,
are talking about the business continuity plan. Why
No,
we are
wait,
going
wait.
in depth on the application security and network
Yes,
security,
because
network
we are
do we need to go to the granular level? That is what my question.
No. See, when a problem comes from a granular level, then you're going to consider that as a risk, and you're going to put some control in the place, right? To avoid that.
No, correct. So as part of business continuity, my question,
Correct.
as part
Now,
of business continuity,
okay,
we have
so now,
different level of security. Network security is separate, application security is separate. Okay, we have all those.
your application is not secured. Okay, there is a breach, there is an incident happened. Okay, then you identified this application does not have business continuity. Your system is down for 1 month. What do you do now? Tell me.
See, that is part of the risk assessment, right? Application risk assessment.
Correct.
Right, that is where we have to identify and we have to mitigate that part.
Correct.
Sir, I would like to add one comment here. Why we are double downing on application security? Since this is banking environment, application is the face of the business. So we need to have a stronger, deeper look.
Sir, what you're saying is correct, sir. These are all comes under the application security. Before starting the development or before doing any sort of activities, we need to have several standards or policies in place before doing the development activity.
No.
Okay.
I think that is not happening. Hold on.
Now we are talking about the business continuity plan.
Shiva or Babu, who more is talking?
Shiva here. Yeah.
Shiva or Babu. Okay, so now, not all things what is in the paper is going as per the paper. First, we need to understand that. Okay. Tomorrow I get a project. Just because I have all policies in place and all the controls in measure, okay, that doesn't mean that there is no incident. That means that there is no incident that has occurred as of now. Okay, I got a project. I need to kick off the project within a given time or within a short span of time. I go ahead with half cooked, whether it is secured or not secured. There is no session time. That's okay. Let's launch the application. after which you launch the application, something goes wrong, then you come back and revisit and tell, yes, I mean, this application was launched with a short span of time because of which the session timeout has not been implemented, or multi-factor authentication is not implemented, because of which we had this risk of somebody taken control of the session, or somebody has breached, or somebody has penetrated through the application. It all talks about your application security, which did not have a proper controls in place, which is a risk which has been identified after a few months of implementation. Okay.
It is right. What you said is correct, sir. But that is that you are trying to relate with the business continuity plan.
Of course. Now, my application
for any organization.
Okay, continue. Somebody else was, yeah.
For any organization, first priority is customer service. Like we are in bank.
Yes.
Our priority is 24/7. Our service should be available for customer. So for that, we have to identify the what our services are critical, which should be available. Then we are deciding which has to go on BCP. So if the main GC is down, then we are moving to DR and services are available 24/7.
Correct.
So for
Right,
that
sir.
only.
Sir, my question is, will you discuss about the authentication? No, will you discuss about the authentication part?
Any application. Let me choose a mobile banking. For mobile banking, it is critical for bank. Okay, so for this application, we have to ensure this first thing, everything is pakka. Everything is pakka. That means for security side.
First of all,
for all security level, it is pakka. Then we are deciding. Okay, then we are putting the same thing in DR side also.
When you identified a risk, right, you need to go to the granular level to understand and to identify the root cause. How will you identify the root cause? You need to go down. You need to go deeper, and only then you will identify what is the root cause, and you will put a control in measure. I have a password policy. I just have a password policy just to rotate. This is my policy. My company is fine. I'm not going to have a multiple this much of length, this much of strong password should be there. No, my password policy tells me password policy will be rotated every 90 days. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as a maximum length. This is the most common used password in the Google. Go ahead and type in. You can still see people are using it. This is the risk which you have identified because of the password policy, where your password policy itself is not strong. Your just password policy says you can only rotate every 90 days. That's all. You are using the same password for an application, whether it is a database is crashed for a customer or for a client, he is least bothered which is not working. My business is stopped. With what is working, what is not working, that is internal to somebody within IT or to management to some extent. My business is stopped for my end user. That is all I'm concerned with. When it will come after 12 hours. Is it accepted or not? That is your problem. Okay, it can come back in the next 4 hours. It is okay. What you want to do? You want to keep only for application server, disaster recovery, you keep it. You want to keep for database server, you keep it. Application is changing every 1 week. There is a application code that is being changed. I have a backup for the application. Full VM backup is there before 2 months. I have only disaster recovery and business continuity for a database server. The application, what I have is a backup before 2 months. Can I connect with my active and passive server? I brought my secondary database server, which is from the business continuity or disaster recovery. I'm connecting it to my application, which is 2 months old. User has logged in. He's not seeing anything. Guys, I'm not seeing anything which is recently pushed. I'm seeing something 3 months old. Will you be able to continue your business? No. You have to have the latest application which is similar on what is running today. If you want to continue, whether it is your database, whether it is your application, whether it is your mobile, do you have the latest one? What you are working on the production is similar to that. If not, you have to go and bring everything back. Okay, if I need to bring back my application which is 2 months old to one, currently I don't even have a backup. If I need to take a backup, this will take another 6 hours. That will take another 4 hours. another 24 hours, my application will not work. Somebody who is looking at BCP, he will tell, or he or she will come and tell, my application was down for 24 hours and it is indirectly, I mean, customer is not happy, or customers lost interest to continue business with us. This has happened for the last 6 months for more than 3 times. Sit back and come up with a better plan. Disaster recovery, business continuity application, you have to talk about some more when you start to identify a risk, and we are going to put a root cause analysis. The auditor who is looking at the policy as well as the root cause analysis will also ask, okay, you're going to ask access restriction in terms of unauthorized access. Okay. If an employee leaves the company, when do you deactivate the login?
Sir, whether it will be tested as part of the BU in production or not, sir? That is my question.
Which one will be
These
tested
are all the policies that you are talking about. That will be tested before it goes to production. That will be tested before it goes to production.
No, wait. That's all.
Right. It means that there is a gap in the system. There is a gap in the system. That is, there is a gap in the system that has to be fixed, but it is not about the business continuity plan.
No.
Okay, maybe in later part of, maybe after finding some issues, or maybe identifying the root cause.
When you identified as a gap, that is your risk, because it is not in sync.
Right, but that is not part of the business continuity. That is what I am saying.
Business continuity will not work if there is a risk. My credential is not working. Simple. You have a primary, secondary, whatever you do, I'm not bothered about it. You have a very
my question is, sir, whether it is working on the product prod or it is not working on the BCP.
Yes, of course, it is not working on the BCP. It is working on the prod. It is not working on the BCP. Now, what you will do?
Then it is a configuration.
No, wait. Okay, wait. You have built a new business continuity. Everything is there in place. You have tested it. It worked. Okay. After a month, there is an incident.
Okay.
You are trying to log in and check on the secondary server.
Okay.
Your active or active passive or whatever you call it.
As you said earlier, why it has not been tested in the as part of BCP testing.
Correct. That is what, because my policy says I'll test it only once in a year.
Okay, you have that policy, whether it worked or not. If it is worked, right?
That's what. See, that is what I'm saying, right? I started in 2024. My policy says I'll do the drill only once in 6 months or once in a year, which means my next occurrence is in 2024 December. It is not yet over, or it has not even passed it. I'll test it only 2024 December. What will you do now?
Maybe I want to get the inputs from.
Correct.
No,
any one of
I
the
will
people.
tell the practical things.
No, BCP who really worked on the BCP part.
Yes.
We are working
in bank. We are working in bank. We are conducting dear deal exercise every 3 months. Okay. So suppose we are working in DC. Any patch is coming for servers, any type of servers, anything. We are upgrading to DR side. Then when we are moving to DR deal, we are shifting to DR from DC to DR. That time parallelly we are updating the same patches, everything in our DC environment. So everything will be sync only. It is not like a one side any application is upgraded.
Shiva's question is, see, whatever we are discussing, it's everything inside. Why under the name of BCP? BCP means my system we need to work seamlessly or uninterruptedly, or like it's smooth, right? Rest, right? It is operation task who has several department or right, a team needs to work. Why all those comes if you're finding a bug, right? Under the BCP, it is first and foremost thing, I need to restore the service. I need to run my operation. That is the prime expectation, right? Right, Shiva? That's what you are asking, correct?
You are right. You are right.
Your prime objective.
You are mixing BCP and DR.
Wait, hold on.
It's not correct. Both are different things. BCP and DR are both are different things.
Guys, You want to continue working your business. That is your objective. That is your key objective. First of all, understand that your business continuity. Okay, I'm an part of infrastructure. Okay, Shiva is a part of application. Babu is a part of server network or somebody else. Okay, Shiva says, okay, disaster recovery, primary shutdown, secondary came back. Go ahead and check it. I'm logging in. Okay, my credential is not working. Am I able to continue my business? Tell me that. Yes or no? That's tell me that. My credential is not.
If it's working, we can continue. If it's not
Well,
working,
correct. My credential is not working. I am reporting back to network team telling that my credential is not working. Please check it. It is not for one user. It is the same for all 1,000 users. Simple. My credential is not working.
Yeah, it can be. Rajkumar, I agree, right? If it 50 other department, it's like working. I cannot test under the name of BCP. Then I cannot restore it, right? It should be an operational, or it can be a right BAU.
With the identity access team, it is maybe an issue with an identity and access.
It should be a continuous, right?
Yeah,
continuous effort, Rajkumar, not under BCP, right? So,
hold on.
as you said, yes or no, working or not working?
No, it is not working. That is what I'm not able to continue. Hold on. The point here is, while you're discussing about BCP and disaster recovery, you will be bringing every stakeholder who is involved. Number one. Understand that first. Server is coming up. You washed your hands. Server is up. You do whatever you want. Server is up. I'm not able to log in. I'll tell. Have you logged in? Are you able to use the system? No. I checked with 10 people who is working. All the 10 or all the 11 who is able to log in. Nobody's able to log in. Okay, reach out to the network team. Reach out to the network team. Network team says everything is fine. All traffic, everything is tested. There's no problem here. Now you tell me I'm not able to continue my business. You identified a problem. My user credentials are not working. Whether somebody needs to change the configuration, somebody needs to activate and activate. I mean, something is wrong on the Active Directory. Someone has to enable a policy, disable this. That is all up to somebody else. For me, my application is not working. Okay. Disaster recovery are you able to? Anybody is able to use the application? No. That's all. Are you able to continue with your business? No. Are you able to print anything? No. Are you able to access anything? No. Server is up. That doesn't mean I'm able to continue the business. The end user who is using the system should be able to use the system. That is the prime objective of business continuity. Critical users at least should be able to use. That is the prime objective why I need to continue my business. I'm printing invoices. I'm printing documents for a transport. Every user is a prime user for this application.
Okay,
that is
so
why
Rajkumar, you tell me my system is breakdown. Okay, there is like the emergency scenario.
What is your system?
Stipulated? Yeah, what is the stipulated? How will you measure BCP it's working or not? How much do you have a time limitation or not to bring the BCP?
Is it Babu or Ravi?
Ravi.
We are not talking about one system. You are talking about the entire system.
Correct. I'm talking about BCP, right? Your like organization is down or some attack, right? In somewhere, you have been asked to right restore your services or somebody like users need to access. Do you have a stipulated timeline to bring or defined timeline to bring the system up or not? Correct. If you talk about 50 like parameters, somebody if I am like a server team, I'll ask you 48 hours to like upgrade the OS. Then your system it's failed. Entire BCP it's failed. And what time you will be measured as a success on BCP?
I think you're missing the core objective again. Your core objective is not saying the server is up. Your core objective should be end user accessing the application without as normal before the incident or after the incident. That is the core objective. For why we are having a disaster recovery and business continuity is
one correction. Before the incident in BCP, it's not at all matter. After the incident in BCP, it matters most. This is my personal opinion.
Yes, of course, we are talking
Yes,
about after
obviously.
the incident. Obviously, we are talking about an incident. Incident happened. We are restoring the services from the primary to secondary. Secondary is not working. Is your business continuity completed? No.
So
You take 48 hours.
we understand that part, sir. We understand the part, sir. But something we are going granular.
Hmm.
That is where our question is.
Correct. No. See,
is this
your
required for?
your objective of asking the question is, do I need to? It is not you. It is somebody else who is related. Should you go to the granular level? But some stakeholder is responsible for fixing it, right? Without fixing,
No.
obviously the user is going to come
For
and tell me.
BCP, everybody has to be there. We understand that
So,
part. Right?
sir, I will
It
add
may be a
little bit
network
context to
issue
it.
or a server issue or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
Okay,
But do
so
we
from
need
my
to
perspective,
identify?
sir,
Let somebody else wants to say.
yeah. So from my perspective, when the application is down, okay, I mean, like, first thing is like, it is an incident. It's an incident, regardless it is like a security incident or whatever it is. Okay,
It is an
the
incident,
incident
yes.
ticket will be raised. Incident ticket will be raised, and it will come in the incident response process. Within the incident response process, the first step what they do is like impact analysis. Within the few minutes of an impact, they knows whether they need to turn into an incident or they need to involve a BCP. So that is the reason why in the BCP process, the incident response team is part of it.
Correct.
So that is how the BCP is invoked.
Okay, correct, true. I mean, but again, incident response, I have classified this as an incident across the company. Nobody is able to access. Okay, a specific application, financial application, mobile banking is not working across the entire region. So we have identified it's an incident happened. We need to restore. We got the approval. Incident response team told that yes, we got an approval. We can go ahead and turn on the secondary, primary to secondary. That's it. Afterwards, you do the root cause analysis. You identify the risk, what has gone wrong to the core. You can identify all those things. Now I need to bring back my application. Okay, you got the approval. You are bringing back the secondary. My secondary is not working. Is your business continuity completed? No. Because end user, mobile banking user is not able to access it. That is the objective what I'm trying to tell. Yes. You go to granular, you stay in the shore or shallow, that is not a problem. Until the user who is using the application, until he is able to access it, your business continuity is not closed. Because the end user who has to continue the business is not able to continue the business. For me, am I able to use my application? No. There was an incident. Yes. Same incident for all 100 people. Yes,
Yeah,
same
so
incident.
that is agree, right? Then it should not covered under risk register. It should be covered under a red book kind of thing, right? So I will be like
wait. We'll go to all those things later. Okay. You have, after identifying what has caused wrong, somebody came and told, okay, a configuration is missing after breaking of 24 hours of time. Somebody identified a configuration missing because of the user logins are working. They identified the problem. Okay, they identified a problem and they fixed it.
So in this scenario, whether this will be covered as part of the risk register in the under BCP?
Now that's what now they identified a problem and they have fixed. Whether it is a risk, whether it will happen for the next time or not, we don't know.
That is what I'm asking, sir. In case of some problem in the configuration changes in the BCP environment, okay, this will be added as part of the risk or not? Is my question.
It is, if the risk is not resolved, if the risk is not permanently resolved, somebody has applied a temporary patch. Okay, somebody has applied a temporary patch. This will work for the next 48 hours or 60.
No, sir. Now my question is risk. I mean, what are the things that we are doing? What are the things that we are doing before enabling the BCP?
Correct. Wait. That's what you enable the BCP. Afterwards, the user is checking. Afterwards, the user check. It's
no. BCP plan is before the BCP enabling the BCP, right? I mean, identifying the risk and everything that comes into picture.
This risk you have identified only after turning on. This is the first time. See, guys, you are not doing BCP every day in, day out, but every problem comes in once in a week or once in a month or once in 3 weeks. You are activating your BCP only once in a year.
For doing the planning activity,
For
we need to analyze
first,
the risk. We need to analyze the risk.
it is just a plan where you have not identified all your
That is,
risks.
sir, that is what we are saying. Under the plan, why we need to go at the granular level? That is what, but since we are discussing about the business continuity plan here.
No. Wait. You have identified, you have turned on your business continuity plan. After you turned on your business continuity plan, my application is not working. Now you identified.
That is a different story, sir. That is a different story, sir.
Yes, sir. The
So
point
that is the
is
same story, sir.
same story, sir. That is what I'm going to tell you, guys. Your business continuity will not tell me, okay, active became passive, passive became active. That is not the business continuity at all. End user need to use the application which is not working, for which he raised an incident across the company. That is what is the core objective of having a business continuity application or disaster recovery. That is the core objective. You do risk analysis, you do after 24 hours, you do 48 hours, you do whatever at the background, you do granular, you do the root cause, etc. It should be on your plan, it should not be on your plan. Every BCP reveals some risk that is not identified for the first time. That will not everything planned is going as such. You plan for 4 hours, system will not come back in 4 hours. True. Mark my words. How many times you have shut down your primary and secondary, you brought it back within 4 hours? Never. You are trying to improve the scope of work and you're trying to include more controls and put things in place to make your BCP a better plan. That is why you post your review. It was 4 hours. For some reason, it took 12 hours. Guys, go back, sit back, come back. What can be improved? You identify new controls, put it, turn it on in the next 6 months and check whether it works. But nobody is testing it after 6 months. You will still wait for an incident. Mark my words again. You will still wait for an incident to bring this back and then implement. You'll put another 12 hours. It may work, it may not work. Primary objective is to bring back the application which was not working to be working for the end user. That is the primary objective. How you do it, it's up to you.
Sir, Raj sir, I have one question.
Yes. Go. I'm not able to see your name. Wait, is it
Babu?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Sir, how will you prepare the BCP plan document, sir?
Okay, good.
Based on?
Yeah, you are looking for the
Basically, you have
components
taken
inside the
function.
BCP plan.
Yeah. Basically, you have to take the functions of the organization. In that function, below that, you have to list out all the sub function. What are the process? And if suppose in that process, if suppose any incident is happened, how much the RTO, RPO, and MTO, and if it's acceptable or not acceptable.
Okay, can I share my screen for a minute? Take a look
sure.
at this and tell me what you read from this. Okay, this is just a. Okay, this is just to check Teams entire screen. You should be seeing a Word file. Okay, why is it still not sharing? Okay, let me know if you're able to see a Word file.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the database server failure. Okay.
So database server failure is a sub-function.
Database server itself was failed. It's a main function. It's not a sub-function. It's a server.
No,
this server is totally failed.
The main function is an information. IT. It's part of IT. Below that, database is one of the sub-function.
Okay.
Because application, database, and list of all these things are sub-functions. I'm right, sir?
Continue.
Yeah. If you go for a sub-function of database server, you have to list out what all are the risk factors and risk functions are there during the business hours, right? You have to list out all the things and who all are the stakeholders and how we are going to mitigate that plan. This is an BCP, right, sir?
Okay, correct.
If suppose any incident is happened at that time, how we are going to manage this service without, minimal loss.
Correct.
So you have already the list out all the sub-function now. So you have to list all the things.
Correct.
So Shiva sir, if you're listing out all this function in the sense, everything is comes under this. I think you got my you got my answer. I mean, you got my answer.
Okay,
right?
read this screen and tell me.
This can be a single incident, P1 or some
Yes.
specific database server. I am talking about as a whole
No,
function,
just a minute, sir. Just a
right?
minute, sir.
It's
Actually,
business continuity. Correct. If
actually,
it's a one
BCP,
server failure, I'm getting like P1. Right,
correct.
within like 15 minutes, I need to respond. Within 4 hours, I need to.
Again,
I
what
am
are the things
talking
that is
about
once
as a
again?
whole thing, right?
Again,
Business
also, what are the
continuity.
things that is showed here? This is a checklist. This is not the plan.
No.
Correct.
This is a
Ravi and
checklist.
This is
Shiva.
not a plan. This
Ravi
is
and
not a plan.
Shiva.
Ah.
Ravi and Shiva. BCP is not only for a specific thing. BCP is a business.
the enterprise,
complete
for the
business.
enterprise.
Yes, enterprise level.
That's what we are also saying, right?
See, we are also agreeing that.
Yes. We are the one we are saying, right? As a whole, we are not going to segment, right? Your database server is in your application. We are not talking about anything. My router switched down. I am talking about the whole infrastructure, right? Seamlessly need to function. If you want to develop your steps, right? Mitigation steps or database server application, whatever, it is really under as a incident. Every day, like per month, I will be handling 10 P1 per day, 10 P2. You forget about it. It's my BAU. Those are the things.
No, Ravi.
Ravi sir, don't think like as an engineer. Just think like you are head of the
You are
organization. If you are head of the organization, how you will handle, how you will run the show, how you will, suppose one service is available, suppose CBS core banking. Let's say example of banking. Core banking services should be available for each and every customer 24/7. Okay, 24/7 means by mode of internet banking, mobile banking. So it is your responsibility. It should run Pakka and it should be updated. Updated database both in DR and DC. So suppose everything you are patched, everything is working in DC, and you are not updating your DR side. Their server is n-2 patches are there. 2 patches late. It is not updated. Last 2 patches. And DC is Pakka. Everything is Pakka. Suddenly it goes down. Then many functions, if you are moving to DR side, then also many applications will not support because their servers are not updated. So if for that purpose, Raja sir told
right?
that everything, all
However, you
functions
made
should
your
be updated properly.
let me tell however you built in redundancy.
Ravi, you are going for a micro level thing. Okay, as a CISO, Chief Information Security
let me
Officer,
tell one
Risk
example,
Officer.
right? If my network is not there, how strong you are having, you cannot enter into the data center itself. You keep 100% or 200%.
Ravi, we agree all the things as a management people, not a technical people. Okay, technical people this comes under RCA level. Okay, because management people won't understand what's the deep technically what is happening. Management people view is in how much the financial loss, how much the data loss, how much the business loss. These things only they can able to view. So as a BCP manager or BCP lead, you have to view on that view only. You can't go for a micro level.
So what Rajkumar discussing, it's like everything means micro or macro.
No. See, we are into business continuity and disaster recovery. Just for, we are into this for more than 15 years, to be very honest. Okay, the reason why we are trying to tell these topics to you is everybody has different versions of it. Let it be there. That is not a problem. But think from a layman user or a person who is using an end user, as you said, or as someone was saying from a bank. You know how many releases is happening in a bank for a day? Can somebody guess how many release will happen for a day in a bank? A release is nothing but a change or a code fix that is done. How many incidents a customer is getting or a customer is filing for a day? A customer complaint is coming for a day. Guess any numbers? How many releases happening on a system for a day?
I don't think they will be doing any daily deployment.
Correct.
Okay, one answer. At least somebody wants to say an answer. That's okay. No, there is a deployment. There is a deployment. If it's a critical,
every day So many
Exactly.
things.
Exactly. See, guys, see, our opinion is different, but what is actually happening is entirely different. Okay. There are a lot of code changes. What is happening in a core banking for a day? All it requires is number one, the sensitivity and the critical of the incident what is being raised by the customer. Number two, all it needs is an approval, and approval is always yes because it's always critical and it is justified by the release manager why we need to deploy this 3 a.m. in the morning or 2 a.m. in the morning or just in the next hour with a 10 minutes of downtime. Yes, it is required. The release happens every other day, or release happens at least once in 3 days or once in 4 days or less than a week. You cannot say no, release happens once in a month. No, this is not a product release. There are applications which is running entirely across the globe with issues not yet identified. Let me give you an example. What is the maximum size of a check number that you can enter in a check machine? Anyone? Any guesses? Anyone? Any guesses?
16 digit.
Any other answers? With decimals, without decimals, that's 16 digits.
With decimals.
Any other answer? Has anyone tested this on any machine? What if the size of the check value what you enter is designed to a 10-digit number with 2 decimals, and if it fails, you'll wait for another 1 month or 1 week to deploy this change and fix it, or you'll do it right on the same day because the customer is waiting to deposit the check for somebody else.
It has to be fixed same day.
Immediate.
So think about this. Okay. All right. But by the way, this discussion has involved even whether it is 5 or 4 or 10 to the maximum. For all people, those who are listening and listening to the conversation, thank you all for those who participated in this. Okay, it was really good. Okay, this is how the conversation and interaction should be. But I mean, more people should have been involved. Look, when you look at a problem, don't look at it according. I mean, you need to look at globally as well as what is required for that specific instance. You are not, when you're putting a policy also, it is not a policy only for you. It is a policy across the company. Not for one specific incident. It should be taking care of others which can be forecasted in the future as well. That is where we are putting controls and we are trying to revise the versions of the controls. I put a control today, it may not work after 6 months. After 6 months, I saw another incident. I'm putting one more control. BCP, same plan, worked before 6 months. Now I'm doing the same thing, it is not working. So what do you want to do? Sit and identify what is the problem, fix it. It is taking 8 hours, now it is taken 16 hours. Go back and see how we can reduce the time again. Go back and see how we can revisit what has gone wrong and how you can improve. If you identify some risk, then fix it. This is how you can improve. Things will not work the same thing. It is not a book. It is not written on the book. What is working for this time will work for tomorrow. Never. Because you are doing something in real. Things are changing every other day. Okay, not the same thing is there. All right, okay, so we were talking about this workshop. It is really good. Let me go back to this. Okay, this workshop and the risk register. So wherever you identified, now identified any risk that is still open, add it to your risk register. If it is not closed, put a control in place and try to close it within the given period of time. Okay. So we'll continue for a while and we'll take a break in some time. Okay. So we'll talk about vulnerability management here. Again, you have discovered some vulnerability or risk. And again, you prioritize your assets on which you want to deploy this first, whether on a similar environment, whether on a small group of environment on which you want to test it, prioritize those and apply it and assess the situation, report it, remediate it, and then verify it. Okay, while you're verifying, you may see it has not completely resolved. Your vulnerability still exists. Or out of 10 people tested, only for 6 it worked, 4 it did not work. You cannot go ahead and continue that. You need to again identify what has gone wrong for this 4 person. Continue again, the 4 people again to test it with another 10. Again, continue the same situation, report it. Okay, until it is 10 out of 10, you cannot deploy this code at all. You need to continue this, whether you like it or not. Okay, so here is a screen from 2 login screens. Again, 2 login screen. Something has gone wrong with the password policy. What has gone? What is more secured here? Or which one is more secured here? And why? Or where you can add some more security to this? It is a part of improvement.
Image 2 sounds more secure because image 1 has the ability to see the password.
Okay, very good. Okay, one answer. Anything else?
And there is a log sign in the image 2 which probably says it is HTTPS. So there's an encryption there.
Okay, log sign. Okay. I mean, maybe I didn't capture the log sign on this screen. Okay, good. Yeah, that's an HTTPS. This is also an HTTPS. Okay, next. Next. Anything else?
There is another option for mobile number, registered mobile number. So it may be validate with mobile number.
Exactly. Yeah. So if my user login is not working, I can still go with my mobile number and generate OTP for a while and then I can log in. Yes, there is another alternate or sign in. Okay, next. Next. Anything
Here it is
else?
directly going for password. I don't know if there is previous sign in asking for user ID.
Okay, so maybe that is means okay. User ID, password. Okay, good catch. It is directly, yes, at times if your session is already logged in, it just goes and it clicks based on your password only if you're already logged in. Okay, that's a good catch. Anything else that we can add to make this a little more secure?
We can add virtual keyboard.
Okay, virtual keyboard. The reason why we're talking now about this security is you have identified this as a risk on your application, which is working, which is a part of BCP, where you're relating all through the chain, where you identified a risk. Okay, password is readable format, it's visible. Then you need to put a control. Okay, so on this login screen, user should not be able to read the password. Is that it? So how will the user knows if the system says you entered a wrong password? So how will the user know he has entered a correct password? If he's not able to see the password, is it valid or it is invalid? I'm a normal user. I'm typing my password.
Sir, I have a question. If it is on the plain text, how about in the BAU environment? How it behaves on the BAU environment? Let's leave about the business continuity. Just be business as usual. How it works on the BAU?
It's the same.
Then it doesn't mean, right? It doesn't mean that it is a risk with the BCP, right?
No, I think you're not. I think you're again missing. Now, let me go back one step.
No, if it is working as expected in the
Wait,
BAU,
wait, guys, wait. You turned on business continuity, everything worked, there is no problem, user logins, everything, everybody's able to log in, etc., etc. Okay. So now, some users who's logging in with this image one reported Some users, not 100%. Just a couple of users reported, I typed my correct password, it did not work. I typed my correct password, it did not work. Number one, you found a problem while analyzing this. What you identified is, we are able to see the password as such. You are able to see the password because it is visible. Even if the user says, okay, no, I typed the password correctly, but it did not log in, that is fine. But now the point is, okay, why should we have the user to read his password? Is it secure or it is not secure? Is the next question from somebody who is looking at an application security, who is also sitting in the same BCP room where you are reviewing the BCP policy or discussing about what can be enhanced or what is the learning from the previous BCP. Okay, this guy comes and tells me, I think we can put a security over here where it says we can have an alternate way to log in. That is another option. Or disable this. Your user should not be seeing what is the password he is typing. It should be the other way around. It is a control. It is a risk. What you identified. Yes, user can see it or anybody can see it. I'm typing my password. You are standing along with me. You can see the password. Okay, you're seeing a visible text. What I'm typing, that should not be there. Okay, let's have some other application. What? Okay, there is application B. How do you have a login screen on application B? Application B is similar to image 2, where nobody can read the password. Okay, so then let's apply the same functionality of image 2 into image 1. This is an improvement which we can do for this screen. This is an enhancement or an improvement. What do you identify? You always, when somebody is reporting a problem, our objective is to see, is there any improvements can be done? If yes, it is not we, it is someone else. It is whomever is going to do it, let them do it. That is not a problem. But as a team, as a whole, can we improve this? Yes, it can be improved, yes. Because we have some applications with this pattern and some applications with this pattern. So let's go ahead and do this all in one pattern, which is more secure. Agreed or disagreed? There should be disagreement. Not everything
No,
should be
I
agreed.
would say that it is a gap between the BAU environment as well as the BCP environment.
I think we should be, the environment is the same. Image 1 and image 2 is two different applications. What we are talking is about, can we implement the same application security as image 2 to image 1? That is the question. Will it be yes for you or it will be no?
Can you come again, please?
Okay. You have two applications.
Okay.
Two applications are a part of BCP. Application 1 is image 1. Application 2 is image 2. While we are discussing about a general talk about information security, some people say that, okay, application 2 is more secured where we cannot see the password. Application 1, we will be able to see the password. Now the question to the audience is, can we apply the same functionality as image 2? What will be a response as a part of information security? Is the question clear?
So you are not showing anything on the user ID on image 1?
No, user ID is there. I mean, we are talking about the password field or the password where there is an eye icon to see it, and the other one where it says user ID. The moment you type, then it populates the password and it automatically fills the rest of the password. Not the fixed length. Now you have slightly changed your question now. You have slightly altered your question. Okay, the objective is to improve the security. So we are going to have a similar pattern of text box where the user will fill the password, but nobody can read the password. Okay, on a readable text. All right, so okay, we talked about this. Okay, we talked about this for a while. Give me a minute. What else is there? Okay, so let's. Okay, so this one we'll talk about now. Level of risk. Okay, we'll take a break for 10 minutes at 4. Okay, 10 minutes, be back at 10 minutes. Okay, we need to close. I mean, I need to close the session at 5. Okay, so plan accordingly. Okay, we talked about the risk for a while. Okay, these are some general classification in terms of qualitative and quantitative analysis. What numbers, what you want to give? Okay, whether you want to go for a scale of 0 to 10, whether you want to go for a scale of 1 to 100, 0 to 100. Okay, you can keep it. And again, in terms of qualitative as well, whether you want to go with low, high, or low, moderate, high, or low, moderate, very high, it's all up to you how you want to classify. The more granular level of classification you have, you can classify it accordingly. Don't put everything in high, or not put everything in very high, and not put everything in moderate or low. Okay, classify accordingly based on your likelihood to happen on it. Okay, very high risk. It is across organization, across several assets. High risk again. Okay, it is again with a huge impact. Anything more than moderate is considered as high. Okay, basically where you will have only a group of people. Okay, say for example, only one department is not working. It is okay. It is okay. We can identify and fix it. Or even if it takes 4 hours, or even if it takes 8 hours, it is still okay. That is a calculated risk which we can apply, or we can ask them to work manually and continue with this. Okay, low is low and very low is very negligible. It happens very, very, very. Okay, when was the last time it happened? It happened before 2 years. Okay, so these numbers will be there on your risk register. Another scale of the same where it is almost certain it can happen anytime. Okay, there are places where there is no power interruptions at all. There is no use of, okay, there is no power interruptions at all for the last 1 year. That doesn't mean it is a must. Do we need to have a power? I mean, you need to have a UPS as well as you need to have a genset, or no, it is not required because for the last 1 year, it never happened. Hello?
Yes, yeah, could hear you.
Is it high or it is low, or it is very low? It is highly unlikely to happen, so it is very low. It has a huge impact, then it is very high. It may happen, it may not happen, because the first 6 months it happened once. It is somewhat likely to happen. Okay, it is moderate, very low. Almost it will happen anytime. It is very, very high. Okay, so here is some numbers again with the example. It has happened more than 100 times in a year. It has happened between 1 to 100. It has happened between 1 to 10, or it has happened 0 occurrence, or it has happened 10 or more than that. Okay. Okay, here is a matrix based on which you calculate based on the likelihood and based on the threat. Okay. It is very high, moderate, low, very high, moderate, low, very high, high, etc., etc. But on a scale of very high and very high, it is always considered as high. Okay, low and low goes on this. Moderate. These are all some tables. Okay, I've just taken this from some different PPTs and other documents. So you can read through this later. I'm not sure what is given on your material. So go through this once you have your PPT. Okay, risk management framework. Okay, we'll take a pause here. And let's talk to the audience. Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions still? There's a complete silence.
No questions.
I want to share. Okay, no question. But why does a BRP test? Okay, you can read all the theories later. I'm not going to spend crisis management, employee. Okay, roadmap to disaster recovery. Okay, there is one more. Okay, let's do this right after the planning, risk assessment. Okay, 4 from this, 4 from this. Okay, no, sir, no is a risk for me. I'm not getting any question. Then it likely tells nobody has understood anything, or No one want to ask any questions. Anybody has any questions? Okay, 2 to 4. If there are no questions in the next minute, we are going to take a break for 10 minutes and be back.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't have any questions.
Yeah. Let me mute this. Come back in 6 plus 5 minutes, 11 minutes, please. Thank you. All right, team, are you all back? Hello?
Yes. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So now let's move on to disaster planning. Okay. Okay, so we have a new project where you are going to set up a business continuity plan and a disaster recovery together. We have gathered all the data, what is required, and all stakeholders. Okay, let them do a business impact analysis, come back with their list. Okay, any risk so far is identified. The risk register is totally empty. There is no risk identified at all. Okay, or they have identified few risks. They have analyzed that. Okay, so now what happens because of this? Identified impact analysis. Yes, there is some recovery strategy which we are okay. We can get the data through backup, or we can bring the primary and secondary, or users can access the data from vault or somewhere else. Okay, whatever the recovery strategy that you have in place, or any recovery strategy that you have in place in terms of an incident because of which a disaster has happened. Okay, build your DR plans based on all this gathering data, impact analysis, and the identified strategies. Build a disaster recovery plan. Okay, after you build, revalidate and test it. Okay, first of all, test it whether it works as expected or it's not working. Okay, maybe you're given an RTO or a response time of recovery plan for 4 hours, 8 hours. Okay, test whether it is working as expected and whether you have any problems that you identified. Establish and have a maintenance plan throughout the year. I'll be doing on all these days or all these days of the month. Every 6 months. Okay, second week of January on the 14th, for example, third week of June, 18th of June, and first week of December, 7th of December, something like that. Share a plan accordingly and release it to the audience. These are all the dates on which system will be down for 8 hours or 12 hours for disaster planning or drill. Okay, audit the plan and update the plan. Okay, see whether something is missing, whether you want to update it, keep updating it, and continue to improve the plan as a part of your planning. How you can improve after the first activity, how you can improve after the second activity. Bring back everybody to the table and discuss and see whether is there any improvements that can be done. Okay. Okay, so now you have a disaster recovery plan. And let's see what happens in a case of worst case disruptions, whether there is a minimal impact or there is a maximum impact. Okay, this impact is always calculated based on 2 factors: recovery time objective and recovery point objective. Okay, my financial application, my ERP or my banking mobile banking application, okay, was interrupted at, okay, for example, 18th, 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay, a disaster has happened. What is the maximum data that we can restore, or whether all 100% data or within the last 30 minutes data will be lost? What is the restoration point to which it can be established? Okay, let's hear it from the bank employee who was talking about the banks. What is the restoration point objective? Is it last 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 0? Hello? There was one bank guy speaking, right? What is his name?
Sorry, question, please.
Data restoration point in the event of a disaster. Is there any
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay. Any other answers from any other business?
Other
Any
business minimum 4 hours.
Okay, 4 hours.
2 to 4 hours.
2 to 4 hours. Any other answers? Any 15 minutes, 4 hours, 2 hours, any other answers apart from this? I mean, even if it is even 8 hours old, okay, incident happened at 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so as of yesterday, 11 a.m., we are good. Anything like this? Yes, no. Okay.
RT is 2 hours.
Sorry, 2 hours.
RTO 2 hours.
Okay, RTO is 2 hours. Okay, system is back online. What is the maximum time taken to recover? That is your recovery time objective. Systems will be back online in the next 2 hours. System will be back online. And what is the ETA for this incident? Okay, system will be back after 4 hours. System will be back after 8 hours. That is the recovery time objective. Maximum time to recover from the incident or the disruption. What has happened? Whether we need to have vendor working for 1 hour, whether internal team has to work for 2 hours. Altogether, what is the maximum time taken to recover? Maximum time to take recover cannot be too much. Okay, because this has an impact. Bottom line is here, if you read this, the better these two components or the lower these two components will have an impact on the cost. Okay, so you have to see how you can improve this, or is there any options to improve? If you have reached the stage where you cannot improve, you still need to think, is there any options that you can improve? Because there is always a room for improvement in terms of what we do better. Okay, is it to the core applications and to the functions associated? Okay, so you need to think upon all this. Is there anything that we can do better? Reduce the number of hours, reduce, we need to involve more people. Okay, vendor is not responsive. Okay, he takes 2 hours to come back. Okay, then talk to the vendor and see how we can reduce it to 1 hour. That is still okay. It is far better from 2 hours to 1 hour, because you're reducing the downtime of 1 hour, because custom vendor itself is taking 2 hours where we are not doing anything. Okay, if the system is back online, everybody's able to use it, everybody's able to use it. Or something is wrong, then fix it. Okay. So now there are different models in terms of disaster recovery. Okay, while we started the session in the morning, we're talking about secondary location outside India, inside India. Okay, whether you have all equipments over there, whether you have connectivity over there, whether you just have a server, okay, with no connectivity, or whether you have a server with the connectivity. Okay, whether you have a active and passive over there, or whether you don't have. Okay, here based on which they are categorizing as 3 different sites. How many of you are number 1 cold site, or how many of you are putting it on number 2, and how many of you are putting your applications in number 3? Anyone who says my applications are still in number 1 cold site, or this is a model that we have currently? Guys, it's a question for you. Is anybody there, or I'm talking on mute?
Mostly it is warm side, sir.
Okay, so okay, one person says it is warm. Okay, good. So the outages is measured in terms of numbers of hours or days. Okay. Next, any other answers?
Ours is on the hot side.
Okay, Gopalakrishnan is hot. Okay, good.
Ours is in hot side.
Hot. Okay, it should be within hours and minutes. Okay, very good. Anybody says no, I mean, you don't have that much of cost because of which we are not able to spend. So it is still in cold site. Or basically cold site says there is no, you are just identified a location. There's no equipment, there's no connectivity, there's no disaster recovery at all. Anyone in that stage? Or is there any critical application that is still on that stage, according to you? Yes, no.
No, only hot site only.
Only hot, only. Okay, all right. Okay, you can read through what is there. It's basically based on your location, based on your connectivity and active passive. If everything exists, then it's going to be a hot site and it can come back within hours or minutes. 15 minutes of downtime is accepted. Go ahead and enable it, bring back the disaster recovery. Okay, recovery model is hot. Okay, you can access the application in the next 30 minutes. All right, okay, good. What happened to the server? What went wrong? Do all this analysis and bring back the site again. Okay, that you do at the background and bring back. Active server, active failure is still not there. Active passive is not there during the failure. Only have a site and an equipment and connectivity that I need to build something. I need to put some virtual machines, 8 working hours, 24 hours. Are you okay with that? It's okay. Then let's go with the warm model of disaster recovery. Okay, but you send this as well at times to your as well as on your proposals where you how your recovery model is, how we can bring back your recovery as soon as possible, or it's going to take days to bring back. Okay, it's all again talking about cold site and warm site. Okay, we're not going to discuss this. Okay, here there is a graph which talks about the cost associated versus the time taken to recover. Okay, this is where we talked about cost at the initial start of the day. Okay, your cost is directly proportional to the option what you choose, or your cost is directly proportional to how many servers you're going to have in terms of critical classification. Okay, all my servers are sensitive, then you have no other choice. Then you need to bring back all your site into your DR or all your applications. Okay, some of my applications are not required to be on the recovery model, so it can be offline. You don't need a DR for that. You don't need a DR. But if you need a DR, then you need to spend some cost. Okay, again, I have my tape, backups and tapes, backups online. Okay, too much of time or less time? Too much of time. I need to take a backup tape, identify which tape this is. Okay, 1 year before, 6 months before I restored it in this tape, I'll be able to bring it back. But how long it will take? It will take at least 2 days for me to restore it. Because the tape is at the secondary location, I need to travel or somebody has to bring from there to here, then restore it. It will take days. Recovery time is more. My backup is online, but I need to still download it from online based on the network speed, etc., etc. So this will take at least 24 hours. So you need to wait for it. And still, my recovery time is more. Okay, then let's go for a site where you can store all those things and bring it back immediately. Okay, warm site or hot site, which you want to choose, you can choose. Faster recovery time requires large investments. In terms of additional space, in terms of data center, my data center is there, power outage is there, cooling facility, everything is there. But if you need all these things, you need to spend some amount, spend some money for it. There's a value associated with this to build it. Okay, now you have all virtual machines. Has anybody tested a virtual machine? And what is the backup strategy for virtual machines? Anybody knows it? Or anybody has used it? Or what is the backup strategy that you have for your virtual machines?
Snapshots.
Okay, one answer, snapshot. Next.
Vim,
No,
Vim
snapshot
backup.
is how frequent is the snapshot?
Snapshot basically how we are following before going for any release or patch management. We'll take on backup and take on snapshot.
Correct. So again, going back, so you do this in once in a month, or you do it once in a week, or
Once in month. Usually, we are managing snapshots on storage level itself. Every 5 minutes, we'll manage a snapshot from DC and
Oh, you mean the entire
NDC.
server?
Yeah, entire server.
Okay, that's very strange. Okay. Every 5 minutes you do a complete snapshot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Sorry.
snapshot, first snapshot only is in accumulating the size, and
Size.
next and all it's incremental only.
Incremental. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Any other answers? Have you done a restore from the snapshot?
Yes, sir. Every 3
Okay.
months once.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Microsoft themselves schedule an automated full VM backup in the mornings. Okay, every day morning it takes a full VM as such, and it has a retention period for 6 months or 3 months based on your policy and subscription what you have. And you can, or it is a must that you need to restore this from a full VM. And if in this case, if you're doing a full, every day full snapshot, or even an hourly snapshot, you still have, there's no data loss at all. If it's an application server and you're not making a change on the code every day or only once in a week, so you can still change your backup strategy to once in a week or based on the days on which you do a customization. So you don't need to do every day because your code is not changing, correct? But if it's a database on which you have your core, your data is changing every hour and other things on the top of your incremental backup, you still need to do a snapshot or a full VM backup every day. Okay. But storage of all this backup files. And if you want to change your retention period, you still need to pay some cost associated with that. Okay, so now infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, disaster recovery is also a service. Business continuity is also a service which is being provided by some partners who exist in the market. I don't want to have a team. I don't want to have people involved. I want somebody else to take care of all those things. Yes. Okay, Azure site recovery provides disaster recovery as a service from Azure itself. If your servers are on Azure. Business continuity, this will be taken care by them. They will test it. They will validate it. All you need to do is you just need to pay the subscription and the service required. The cost required for that. I don't want to have people. I don't want to keep 10 different people who is managing it. So it's all coming as a service, right? Now more industries are continuing. Most of their IT itself is becoming more of a service. Okay, I don't need people from infrastructure to be sitting in front of me fixing my issues. Okay, let's give all IT services to a third party. Okay, they'll take care of all the service. They'll take care of desktop. They'll take care of desktop, laptop, fixing all these problems. We'll still have some core people where we need to do something else that will be taken care. Anybody who is a part of this, where business is a continuity or disaster recovery as a continuity, where your team is not involved and somebody else is involved? Anyone? Okay, no one.
No.
Okay, no one. Okay, 60 out of 1 is a risk. No people are, either you're not a part of it or you're not directly involved in it, or it is not used by you. Okay. Same thing is done. Okay, they also may. Yes, somebody was about to say something.
Azure site recovery we are using.
Okay, good.
DR service also you are using, but it's not an
service.
It's completely handled by us, not from an Azure or anyone.
Good. Okay, this is again an option. Service exists. We use a service, but we will have our own employees to take care of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, they have separate tools. Okay, they analyze the impact. Okay, business continuity planning comes into the picture. Exercise. They send out an email. Okay, but we need to be involved everywhere. We'll be involved everywhere, or we'll take care of the entire service and we'll have our own team to do it. We'll have our own team to do it. Okay, I mean, whichever works for you. And again, this is all, I mean, some from the top management decides, okay, why don't you go with Azure? The cost of spending it on these things is too huge. Okay, so is the Azure site recovery comes up with they'll take care of everything. All we need to do is just coordinate with them. Fine. Okay, fine. You're reducing the cost. Okay, cost is reduced, better performance. Recovery time is also good. Whichever works for the organization and management, they'll go ahead this. Okay, this picture may not be that clear. Okay, here there are two different sites, one in Pune, one in Hyderabad. Okay, Pune is a primary site, secondary site is in Hyderabad. Okay, there is an Active Directory replication. Okay, all logins what is created will also be there on the Azure directory service or Active Directory because the same login. Okay, so let me put it the other way around. So your office is in Pune and your office is in Hyderabad. Well, the same. Do you need to make any change if I need to log into when I go to Pune office? Okay, I'm in Hyderabad. I'm going to Pune office for a visit or for a meeting. Do I need to make any changes or do I need to reach a network guy to fix my machine or she makes some changes in my machine to connect to the Wi-Fi over there or nothing is required?
It's required.
One says it is required. Next. Next. Guys, next. We are looking for inputs from the audience. One says it is required. You need to take the laptop to some infrastructure guy who's working. He will configure the Wi-Fi for me. Then you need to connect to that. Anybody else? Okay, on the top of the same question, if you say yes, is your Wi-Fi password same as your login password? Are you authenticating your connections to the connection which you're connecting to the Wi-Fi, what you log in? Is it same as your Active Directory login? Yes. Okay.
No.
Okay, one is no, no. Can it be a yes? Can it be a yes if yes? Has anybody implemented this for your networks? Guys, we are talking about improvements of how you sign in or how you log in. It's all access restriction or it's all, I go to any of my office across the globe. All I need to do is just, I need to connect to the access point, what is available, which says, okay, with a specific name. Okay, if you go to this specific name, you will see this Wi-Fi name. If you go to this specific location, you will see this. Okay, once you click on it, will ask for your access credentials. You need to enter your credentials to sign in to your Wi-Fi. Have you not implemented? Not even one out of this 60 is implemented this. Very strange. I've done this before years. How many of your company organization has implemented NIST or ISO 27001? Okay, so no answer. Or not even one. Interesting. Interesting. So out of 60 in this group, not even one single organization has implemented information security standards 27001. Huh? I can't hear you, Yogesh. You're saying something, but I'm not hearing anything what you're saying.
Sir, we have implemented.
Okay, you're implemented. Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Yogesh.
IOB. Yes, sir.
It's the bank, Indian Overseas Bank.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, good. Anyone else? Any other organization where you implemented this? I mean, you're a part of it. You don't need to be, I mean, as a part of IT, you've been there, or as your organization implemented this. Okay, so then you need to spend quite a good time before you complete your next year or your final semester. Okay, go back and understand all this 120 controls or 131 controls as a part of ISO 27001. Whether your infrastructure, whether your networking, whether your application, whether you're a part of encryption across IT. Okay, not even one. Okay, good. All right, coming back to this picture. Okay, Active Directory is replicated, so access users can log in from any system. Internet is connected. Primary server is Pune, secondary is on Rizal. I mean, secondary is DIA site is in Hyderabad. Is this a good architecture for primary and secondary, or somebody sees there is a problem? No, we should not have this secondary so close or so far. Hello?
Is this an nearline data center or you're talking about an disaster recovery? I mean, DR.
Yes, it's a DR
Yes.
site where I have my primary in Pune. All my organization was sitting in Pune, for which I have a disaster recovery in Hyderabad. Okay, storage replication
It's
is
not right or wrong. It depends upon the MS.c master sign. Statewide, citywide, and countrywide. Accordingly, we need to build a DR.
correct. So it is okay to build like this, or it is not okay? Because we talked in the morning, okay, we should not have it within the same place. Okay, it is not in Pune, so it is in Hyderabad. It is okay. It is good. We have a disaster recovery outside the region. I mean, not the entire geographical region, at least some kilometers away or miles away.
Pune, Hyderabad is acceptable, sir.
Okay, good.
Nearline
I
data
mean,
center only is an some limitations. It's
Okay.
around 25 to 30 kilometer or 50 kilometer.
away, airlines, okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
here
people
and
those
also,
are good.
is this ISO is mandatory for all the organizations?
It is not mandatory, but it will become mandatory while you start to take some projects outside India. Or how do you say, or how do you justify what standard becomes a question, or standard becomes a mandatory when you want to be a part of some bidding?
Okay.
Standard is a must. You cannot even apply while you are not a part of the standard. They look at what is your standard, right? Okay, this company, okay, on the checklist, on the proposal, is this company, are you a company who is ISO NIST standard? Are you a company who is ISO 27001 standard? If you don't check that, or if you're not a part of that, you'll not even be able to submit your proposal. It's a mandatory one.
If suppose the organization is under the regulatory, in the sense it's not required.
No, that's what this is again applicable to which contract you are going to apply or which project you're going to take. Okay, let's assume that you're going to take a project outside India, for example, and it's for some army or it's for something else which is more secure. Then NIST comes into picture, and information security, both are 50% closer to each other, but some says that it is a must that you need to come up with at least one standard first. You should be compliant with all these regulations. If not, you cannot be a part of the company, part of this project.
Got it, sir.
Okay, so here is another architecture of Active Directory on both ends, active, passive. Okay, we are bringing load balancer into the picture. Okay, database. There are different ways where you have your replication on both active and passive. Okay, there are old and traditional model where you replicate continuously based on a given time frame. Okay, master and slave architecture, mirroring, these are old. Okay, this is no more, this is still established in some companies where they are following. Okay, again, an application server on which it is accessed, you can, even if the slave goes down, you can map the application server to the master and run the application. Okay, so there are different tests that you can perform while you want to talk about disaster recovery and business continuity testing. Only paper. Everything will be only in paper. Okay, that is the first test. Based on the paper, then you will, I mean, even for preparing the paper, you have to involve all the stakeholders who is involved and prepare, put it across a plan and put it on the paper and document it, review it and circulate it, distribute it across different people, those who are involved for review and comment. Based on the paper, you need to continue with your walkthrough. The next extension of the paper is your walkthrough testing. Okay, again, you call back all appropriate people involved in the BCP members to discuss, walk through the procedures, train the people involved, and clarify anything that is critical. And there is one more, a preparedness then becomes a full. Okay, whether you're putting it on paper, whether you're walking through, it is a must that you need to be prepared. Because once the incident happens, you have no other way, you need to come out of this disaster and you need to recover the system. And whether it is fully operational or whether it is partially operational, that is up to you. If it is fully operational, then you can understand the full impact. You want to keep it to only a limited audience or limited teams, that is again up to you. How you want to decide, but if it is fully operational, that is very well and good. If it is partially, then you cannot understand the impact when it goes out, when the disaster happens or the outage occurs. Okay, this is all up to you, how you want to do it. But at least once in a year, once in 6 months, you need to do a fully operational test as per the standards. Don't come and tell me my business is always working, so I cannot do it. It is a must, you have to do it. It is a compliance requirement. Whether you restore the data from backup, whether you restore the tape, or whether you restore from wherever it is, you need to do a full restoration where you're involved, everybody involved, and you are stopped the primary and you're able to run with your disaster recovery site as your primary and come and start to work with your operations. Okay, I'll just share this. You can read through. Okay, we're not going to discuss this. Okay, 5 methods: simulation, checklist, full interruption, parallel testing. Okay, whichever you want, you can choose a method, but walk through. I mean, every step is a step closer to full interruptions. You have to walk through, you have to simulate. Okay, don't wait for the disaster to happen and then test it or simulate it. You need to keep still simulating as and when required, as and when you have time to simulate and to check whether things are working and see how you can add new points to a checklist and improve the checklist. Okay, first we started with 10 points, then you are increasing, adding more points. Checklist, new points have been added, departments gathered. Okay, we are getting comments from every other department, so we are improving the list, which says more points are added, which is good. So full interruptions and parallel testing. Okay, parallel you want to test it or you want to fully interrupt? Okay, we will leave it to you.
Sir, could you give me some real-time example of these 5?
Okay, real-time example. Okay, so we have implemented in a few organizations, so let's go with that. Before, okay, we have a business continuity. We came up with a nice business continuity plan, disaster recovery, away some miles in a location. Okay, first of all, we need to have a walkthrough testing. Okay, based on what we have designed theoretically, I just bring people. Okay, let's assume that these 60 Okay, where is this 60? Okay, these 60 are from 6 different departments. Okay, with who are all involved in this disaster recovery. Okay, we'll call everybody to a table, walk through the paper, what is written on the paper. Let's identify. Okay, team A, go through the document and come back and tell me whether things are working as expected. Okay, going through the document. Okay, I will shut down my primary, I'll shut down bring back my secondary. Okay, user will log in, user will check it. Okay, that is all a checklist. Okay, walk through 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 points. It's all done. Department A. Department A is done. The first department who will do is Department A. Okay, they have done the walkthrough. It is all good. Okay, Department B. The next department, infrastructure, comes and tells me I need to do ABC. As per the walkthrough, we have ABC, but we don't have the contact numbers of this ABC. Okay, because we have involved a third-party application who is also there. Okay, we don't have this. Okay, good. Okay, let's make a note about it. We will revisit and add it. Okay, network is done. Application team. Okay, application team is also called through out of this 10. Okay, application team checks this. Okay, does a walkthrough of what is written on the document. It's all good as per the document. But somewhere, apart from the 10, few applications, what is involved, we see, okay, multi-factor authentication, or a common email which is to be sent where the passwords will be shared. Whether this will work on the walkthrough, whether it will not work through, we need to test it. So let's do a test later. Fine. But now for the walkthrough, there are administrator credentials which is required, which is not included in this. We don't have administrator out of this 10. Administrator is from other team. We need to involve this person as well. Okay, so let's bring, who is this person? This person has a different credential. He's the one who is logged in, after which we'll be able to do all these things. Okay, let's bring this person as well. So add it to the walkthrough. Add this new point as a part of the walkthrough. Admin credentials is required to turn off the service or to turn on the services. Okay, good. Okay, so all walkthroughs done. Okay, we have identified few points which can be which to be added as a part of this walkthrough. Okay, we have added all these things to the walkthrough. This is where you do a walkthrough testing. We had one workshop where we wanted to have it, but that is for risk. So you are not doing any walkthrough in your any of your continuity. You are not doing any walkthrough at all with the audience who are involved in it, or nobody is involved in any of this activity at all. Okay, no response. Is anyone involved in any of their business continuity or disaster recovery? Anyone? Not even one out of this 58?
No, sir.
Only one.
No, sir.
Okay. No, it's a, okay, no two. Okay, good.
Checklist testing we perform, sir.
Okay, good, because you are coming at the later part. Okay, that's okay. At least you're doing some a part of it. 2 out of 58 is not a good. Okay, at least you need to, at least this two who is doing a checklist testing. Now you tell me, what do you do as a part of checklist or one?
Based on that BCP plan, we have to initiate the date, and based on that we have to, what are the things they are going to perform, we have to list out it, and we have to do the checklist for that before
Correct.
going to process.
In the
And who all are,
walkthrough,
yeah,
correct. Sorry to interrupt you. In the walkthrough, there are some checks what you will do physically on the machine or on the server or on the application. What you will check.
yes,
Okay, walkthrough will has. Yeah, continue.
it's completely a hybrid, like
yeah,
because
both together.
suppose, yeah, if suppose if we are going to do an ITDR drill, in the sense we have to include the which all are the, if suppose if the once in the year critical, first of the critical system need to do the DR drill as per our plans. Okay. In that time, we have to list out which all are the critical applications. We have to take the list out, and who all are the stakeholders. We have to consolidate it, and we have to inform to them. and they need to participate on this. And what are the challenges they're going to do? We have to rework on that their checklist. I mean BCP checklist, and we have to validate it and everything we have to do. Our part
Okay.
is in basically we give the decision date. This is an critical application going to do on this date, and you have to prepare all the checklist.
Yeah, so basically you're just informing them, just be prepared. That's it.
Correct.
Okay, and you prepare your checklist according to you and you test it. You'll initiate a disaster. You need to come up with the checklist and test it. Okay. Okay, checklist is the one which I was sharing before a while. Okay, once I log into a machine, okay, or I log into a server, or I need to check some configuration. So all these steps will be there as a part of your checklist to test it. Whether you have 15 different checks or 100 different checks that you need to perform on this server by 10 different people, you categorize it. Okay, functionality number one, checklist number one, checklist number 2, 3, 4, you divide and conquer however you want. It is just the list of activities what you will perform on this specific server. You will put it on a checklist. I've done A. It is not, again, not everything will be done by only one person. It will be done by several people. Okay, so let me share this again. Take a look at this because people are not look. Okay, are you able to see my another screen? A Word file?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, this is just a simple checklist. Okay, your checklist may have more, my checklist may have less. People, those who are involved. Okay, serial number, description of the process, result, status, and who is doing this. Okay, server has failed. What is the checklist that you will have to check? Okay, this is what business continuity team will tell. Okay, server is down. So what? How will you check, or what activities you will check and check whether server is working or not? Okay, application team will connect to the database server. Okay, it is working. It is working. Check for the connectivity using the client working. Who is checking that? Somebody else is checking that. Is the service running? Okay, services are running. Who is checking that? Service restart is required. For now, it is not required because services are already running. Okay, connect again with the client and check. This is for some more people to check. Yes, some more people are going to check. Is it working? It is working. Check if the server database is working by running some, excuse me, structured query language. It is working. It is working. Okay, check on Citrix whether users are able to log in and access the application. Yes, it is working. To check it through Citrix whether the cloud is working. It is working. Check with the valid credentials whether the DB is working for all the 3 different people or n number of users working. Okay, cascade it to the other team members. Whether you need a backup, whether you need to ensure virtual machine or physical, etc., rebuild, restore is required or not. From the network side, isn't because everything is working, so we don't need anybody else to restore anything or to bring back any virtual machines, etc., etc. Okay, not applicable, not applicable. This time it is not applicable. During this time, where we are simulating a check, it is not applicable. So because it is working. Establish or restore application connectivity. Okay, application is working? No. Okay, something is wrong then. Application, establish and restore application connections are working. Database is working, but application is not working. And check for working conditions to resume the operations. Application is not working. For example, here is a problem. We have identified this is not working. Communicate the end user functionality under working conditions of the application. If it is not working or if it is working. If it is not working, put it as not applicable. It is already working. If this is again not database alone is not working, application again is working. It is of no purpose because I will still not be able to work with my application. I have checked my applications. It is all working as expected. If it is working, then go ahead and update the user. It is all working. Okay, so there are some more operations which is behind this. if something goes wrong with, okay, DB server failure, application server failure. Okay, let me open something else. This is again the same. System security plan, we don't want. Okay, this is for another server checklist. Okay, this has more options, so let's, okay, open this one. Okay, this is not that. Let me, are you able to see another picture, another image with more checklist?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is another server. Okay, you may not, if you're not sure of what this application is, forget about it. It's just a list of steps which people will perform. Not working, not working, not working. Says it is really not working. Okay. Here they are approved for changing the connection. If you look at point number 12 and 13, application, one of the application is not working. We need to get an approval on point number 12 to get an approval from the director of IT services or the CAO and get it approved. And then you have an option to change the configuration from primary to another option, which is secondary, or change the tunnel configuration so that it will work. Okay, here this operation is running in two different geographical zones. So we are connecting it through the tunnel where the data is transferred through the tunnel for one location. With the same tunnel, you can also connect with a different location as well. So for this change, because the primary server is not working on one of the location, we can still change the tunnel. This is all the checklist. Okay, user is checking ABC, XYZ. If it is not working, then go ahead and get an approval to change it. Infrastructure team will go ahead and change it. And after which you will see on your right hand side, it's working, 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 working. Then you go ahead and confirm this is working. Okay, these servers are no more inactive. This is all shut down. For this is implemented before, I mean, almost at least 10 to 8 years old. Okay, coming back to this one. Okay, we talked about a lot of time on this. Okay, now according to you, what is the key elements for a disaster recovery plan? There is some points which is given here. Anything else apart from this? There is a point which is missing. Anything like that, according to you? We talked about people, we talked about duration, we talked about time, we talked about loss, we talked about recovery, we talked about complexity or efforts, we talked about how critical is application, etc., etc. Anything is missing on this DRP, disaster recovery plan? For
There
doing
should be
all,
a team. There should be a team, right?
there should be a team. There should be a team. Okay.
Governance team.
Yes, governance management.
Something.
Governance team. Okay. Okay, there should be a governance team to take care of all these things. Okay. For doing all these things, we need people and we need you. If this 60 are involved in a disaster recovery plan, all the 60 to be available. If only 20 is available, that will again become a disaster. Okay. All right, team, we have been talking for a while, or we have been discussing for a while. We have not looked at anything theoretical. We are talking, we are taking real-time situations and throwing or making it more interactive to make the audience. Okay, everybody is different organization, different policies you have in place. But bottom line is, okay, do you have a critical application? If yes, do you have a disaster recovery plan in place? Or can you continue your business? That is your bottom line question. Okay, whether your environment is secure or not, this is all internal, again, related to the questions within your architecture. How, okay, do you have risk identified, whether you are going to solve your risk, whether you do not want to solve your risk, whether you want to identify a risk, fix your risk, etc., etc. Whether you have, do you have budget allocated for this? Nowadays, people come back and tell, okay, there is no budget for travel. Okay, good. There's no budget for travel, then how will I travel to a disaster recovery site and implement the change. Okay, are you going to travel during the incident? No. Will you be a part of during testing? Yes. Will there be somebody else available? Yes. But these people have to travel to a location? Yes. Okay, good. All right, team, any questions from anyone?
And it
If
should be a
not,
continuous, right? The time should be right. First time, if you are enabling DR for the company or site, it should be lessons learned over the period, right? The optimization in terms of everything needs to be improved. Right?
correct,
I
that is-
cannot,
yeah.
if I first time I'm running a DR and there should be lessons learned and improve on it, right? Rather sitting on that particular juncture. So I need to take it, right? First time it should be 5 hours. So
This
if
is
it's
what-
the fifth time I'm doing, it should be a 10. It's 1:5 or something like that. We need to reduce.
No, but
So that's the
improvement should
continuous
be-
improvement, not only in operation. Bringing this DR or BCP should have been, the result should have been captured and the improvement should be shown, which is a good sign for the customer as well, right? Whoever manages is the improvement or it will increase CSAT as well.
What I have one more question with this. I'm just going to stop. If there's no questions for the day, I need to wrap up this a little quick. How many of you have 2 SIM cards? And what are the providers? And when was the last time the provider went down? And why do you need 2 SIM cards in terms of business continuity or disaster recovery?
Yeah, I'm having 2 SIM cards. Last 3 months before, I'm facing issue like an 5G to 4G to 5G signal upgradation in Chennai location, like in Gindi industrial estate, like that.
Which provider
I'm facing
is that?
multiple challenges. Sorry.
Which provider is that? We can talk. That's okay.
Airtel service.
Okay. Okay.
So after
Okay.
that, at that time, actually, we are doing some PR activities. We completely stuck up on that.
Okay. Okay.
So later we have to buy an Geo, and we are managing both 2 networks now.
Okay. Even this service provider is not working inside some of the buildings. That is maybe nowadays inside the city there are too many buildings, very top, very high buildings, high-rise buildings.
Yes.
I don't know why. Any other answers? Any other interesting answers? If my SIM card, if my
I use 2 SIM cards, sir. One for
Okay.
my hometown and another for Chennai.
One for your hometown. Okay, so you want to
Great.
reduce the traffic, not incoming traffic from the home to office and office to home. Okay. Any other answers? All right, team. Okay, so this is your 3rd semester or 4th semester?
4th semester.
4th semester. Okay. So after you write in another 6 months, you are okay. So bottom line, I mean, apply anything that you are trying to learn or what you learned somewhere. Okay, you may not be a part of your disaster recovery or you may not be a part of your business continuity, but you may be a part of your application security. Or you may be a part of your network security, or you may be a part of some other team. So wherever possible, apply anything that you have learned and put it in practice. And if you're already practicing something, see how you can relate your theory to your practice. You don't need to sit and read your material to understand. And I mean, if you listen to this conversation, I would say that way. But you need to still understand what is your RTO and what is your RPO, what you given, so that you can write some examples or listen and understand a little more how you can improve those. Or in terms of, we talked about 10 different policies. I don't know how many of you are reading your information security policy inside your company. Out of this 60, only 2 has some standards that is implemented. It's okay, but at least know what is the standard telling? What is this control telling? There is, if you go to Google and put 131 controls on information security 27001, it will list a bunch of controls. See what controls that you have in place for your organization. See what is the risk of a control that is not in place, or if you have a risk, what can be the control that you can put in place to resolve it, to mitigate the risk. If you don't do all those things, okay, you may forget what you're learning. Okay, because you're spending a little time in this, not more time in this. Your retention period, I mean, your testing is happening only once in 6 months or once in 2 years. All right, team, if there's no questions, thanks for your time. Okay, if there are questions, you can reach out to my email. My email should be there on your somewhere. You can make a note about it. If somebody has any questions, if someone wants to reach out to my email. Put the subject of the boss name or anything, or write a small note, and then we can talk in more. If there is no questions, we'll be closing this in the next minute. Yes, no. Thanks for all those who participated. Thanks for all those who argued. Okay, to make the conversation interesting. We always like arguments on the calls. Okay, but people those who participated is very less. Okay, 5 out of 50, 60 is very less. 70 out of 51 is still less. Okay, so thank you all for joining on a Sunday. Talk to you later. If there's any questions, drop an email, send out an email. I'll get back to you. Okay, thank you all.
Yeah.
Talk to
Thank
you
you.
later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you all.
Rajkumar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Bye.